Sun trying to sneak through what has been a mostly cloudy morning and early afternoon here in Jacksonville. Sold-out crowd at Alltel Stadium. Ray Rhodes, in his third season, has led the Eagles to the playoffs in each of his first 2 years. Thom took over the expansion Jaguars 3 seasons ago. They reached the AFC Championship game before losing to New England. Jaguars at 4-1, Philadelphia at 2-3. Jacksonville has won the toss, selected to receive, and this certainly a sore point for the Eagles.
Yeah, and what it equates to is having bad field position when your offense starts or your defense has to go on the field and try to protect.
Brunell to kick it off. Reggie Barlow, 84. Willie Jackson, 80. Wait to return, and Brunell spins it away. Good kick.
Very good kick. He's going to stay in there.
And taking a knee will be Willie Jackson. They'll bring it out to the 20, and that's where Jacksonville will put it in play. Led by the man who was the most valuable player of the Pro Bowl a season ago, 27-year-old Mark Brunell. The serious knee injury during the preseason. Many felt he wouldn't even get back for the entire year, and here he is starting his 4th game. Baselli and Searcy, 2 of the best in all of football. And in the backfield, Natron Means joins Ty Halleck. We'll see a great deal of James Stewart. Terrific wide receivers in Smith and McCardell. Brunell comes out throwing. Good protection. Guns it over the middle, and the catch is made by McCardell. First down yardage to the 33-yard line. Defensively for Philadelphia, Mamula and Harris the ends, Hall and Thomas the tackles. William Thomas, a 2-time Pro Bowler. They're hoping for more production from Darren Smith. He's been bothered with a bad ankle. Taylor and Vincent the corners. Dawkins and Michael Zordich, who celebrate his 34th birthday today, the safety. Play fake one way, Brunell rolls the other, drops it off to Halleck, and another big gain close to midfield.
The first thing you think about when you talk about the Jacksonville Jaguars quarterback Mark Brunell. He's been out with that injury. He's been back for 4 games, but you know what? He hasn't been 100%. Now, you think about him, and he can kill you running the football. You know that. But he's also got some people to throw to. Right off the bat, we talked about Keenan McCardell being the possession guy that like to use him in the middle of the field. We saw that. And then with the bootleg, and he's always got that run off of that bootleg we just saw to Ty Halleck.
McCardell in motion after a gain of 13. First give to Natron Means, and he's in Philadelphia territory down to the 44. A gain of 6.
Tell you, it's easy to run and it's easy to pass when you got a guy like right here, number 71, Tony Baselli. First-round pick for the Jaguars last year. He's a guy who is maybe the best left tackle in the NFL. And as long as they can get in front of people, and they've got a huge offensive line, they can move people.
Largest in the history of the NFL.
Yeah.
James Stewart touches the football for the first time, and depending on the spot, appears to have enough for a first down, and he does. Tripped up by Hollis Thomas after a gain of 5. First down, Jacksonville.
And we talk again about that offensive line. Baselli, actually, they're 3 years. But you talk about the average weight. I mean, that is the heaviest offensive line in NFL history. And they are solid at the 2 tackles. Leon Searcy coming down from Pittsburgh.
Brunell drops back again. Great protection. And fires across the middle again to McCardell all the way down to the 23-yard line. A gain of 17. Vincent and Dawkins on the tackle.
Yeah, we talk about the 2 guys on the outside, and when they have the run game, as we look at Ray Rhodes there, they can do a lot, but it all starts with the protection. Watch Baselli. He said working on Mike Mamula, he'd have to get on him quick because he's so fast around the outside. And you saw, Tom, he got right on him. That's called short setting. Attacking a speed rusher before he can get his speed up.
Natron Means breaks a couple of tackles and manages to get close to the 15-yard line. Darren Smith on the tackle after a gain of 7. The Jaguars looking terrific on this opening drive with the pass and the run.
And you know, it's so easy to look at this team and then focus so much on Brunell, and the Eagles are going to have to make provision for him. But like you said, they got a Means back there, and then they got Stewart here, who was a much faster, quicker version of Means.
Brunell, a short drop this time, fires to the far side. First reception by Jimmy Smith, pushed out of bounds at the 8-yard line.
And Means, that we just talked about him, he's got a little something going on there. He's coming out. He's limping on that left leg there. See if we can see what happened. This is before the play. Yeah, he did that on the play before, the run play before.
First and goal. Ball spotted just inside the 8. Stewart close to the goal line. Touchdown, Jacksonville.
We talked about the weight of this offensive line. They can blow people off the ball. They went right on the right side. Tilsky 76, Searcy 72. I don't believe Stewart was touched until 3 yards from the goal line. That is an impressive drive for the Jacksonville Jaguars. You know, they talked about this team sputtering a little bit. Sputtered some last week against Cincinnati. No signs of sputtering on that drive, Tom.
Mike Hollis the point after. And he bangs it through. So the Jaguars go 80 yards in 4 minutes and 2 seconds, capped off by a touchdown from 7 yards out from Stewart. Philadelphia could be in for a long day.
What do you get when you fly Southwest Airlines? Fun fares.
Well, you've waited so long for a fare to get so nice and low now you really should fly.
Light up the night. Southwest Airlines fun fares are so low. Want to see that again? Now you can fly just for the fun of it.
With us, 'cause we got a lot of things to do now you really should fly. And you'll have fun, flying Southwest on a fun fair today. Fun, flying on a fun fair today.
Ah, row double Z, where the real fans sit. My people, everything's better up here. The air's cleaner, beer is colder. It's like being up in the Rockies where Coors Light is frost brewed. It's the kind of place where a man needs a beer and a beer needs a man. And beer is the way beer is supposed to be when beer is really beer. These people are like my family.
Well, maybe very distant cousins.
NFL Sunday is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. With fares so low, you have the freedom to fly. By Saturn, a different kind of company, a different kind of car. By the body heat-activated Degree antiperspirant and deodorant. And by Oracle, the company that's enabling the information age through network computing.
They're jacked up plenty here at Alltel Stadium in Jacksonville. 80 yards in less than 4.5 minutes for a touchdown. Means still limping a bit on the sidelines. That does not look good. Philadelphia will get the football. Deuce Staley, the rookie out of South Carolina, takes it from his own 3. Still on his feet and crawls his way across the 25 out to the 27, tripped up by Mike Logan. Let's go back to the touchdown a moment ago.
Watch these guys on this side of the line. You're going to have a hard time on defense when the first person to touch the running back is a defensive back. You're going to see 3 perfect blocks here and these 2 over here. Dawkins is the only guy there to make the play or make the stop. But it's too late. He's in there for a touchdown. Good man-to-man blocking, and that's what a heavy offensive line will do to you. A good lead block there by Ty Howell. See what Philadelphia can do.
Irving Fryer in motion, and a near disaster on the exchange from Detmer to Waters, who carries out to the 29-yard line. The pressure initially made by Don Davies. Philadelphia, the second-ranked offense in the NFL, led by 29-year-old San Antonio native Ty Detmer. Mayberry and Brooks, the tackles. Panos and Beckles, the guards. Everett, the free agent from Baltimore. Waters and Turner will see a great deal of Garner. Fryer and Timpson starts in place of Chris T. Jones, although he is available to play. Charlie Garner, his first carry, and he's out to the 33-yard line. It'll bring up third down. A little extra pushing and shoving going on. Jacksonville defensively. Simmons and Lageman join Davey and Pritchett up front. The linebackers, Kevin Hardy, the second overall pick in last year's draft. Robinson and Schwartz also there. Dave Thomas moves from right corner to left corner in place of Aaron Beasley. Deion Figures gets the start. And the safeties Hudson and Davis on this 3rd and 3. Detmer looked one way, drops it off to the tight end. First down out to the 45 to Jimmy Johnson. Just his second catch of the year.
Nice reload that time by Detmer. One of the criticisms of him over the last couple weeks, he's held the ball too long. He holds it there and makes a good decision. The Eagles have to prove coming into this game that they can win on the road in a hostile situation. This is a sold-out, packed place, a hostile crowd in Jacksonville.
They're even more hostile because their Florida Gators lost last night. Well, they're downright nasty mood here this morning. Detmer throws, and it's batted down. Nice play made by Dave Thomas. He had an eye on Irving Fryer.
Great play by Dave Thomas. Dave Thomas now is playing on the other side of the field. They had an injury. Aaron Beasley went out. They've had to move down Deion Figures, and they switched corners. But one thing you'll notice about Thomas, he's a big cornerback. 6'4", 216 pounds. He's a guy brought there in the expansion draft from Dallas in '95.
4 receivers set, and they run the draw to Waters. That didn't fool anybody. He may be picked up 2. It'll bring up another third down for Philadelphia. 3rd and 9. They say it's 1-yard gain. Let me ask you, Ronnie, you used to play quarterback in the NFL. How hard is it to move from one side to the other?
It's very hard. Your technique is all messed up. You know, you're used to looking at things maybe from inside out, left to right. Now you switch around right to left. But a guy like Dave Thomas, I think they do a good job of not putting him in position where that technique difference can hurt him. You know, they want him to be physical.
Fryer in motion on a 3rd and 9. They're coming after Detmer, and down he goes. Jeff Lageman getting his first sack of the season.
Jeff Lageman playing that defensive end position. He's coming from right out here. He's going to try to beat Barrett Brooks around the corner. And you see Brooks never gets a hand on it. Well, he did get a hand on it, but it didn't do much. That's just a pure speed rush. And that's why they talk about tackles technique being so key. Not making any false steps, taking any false steps, and protecting your quarterback in his drop.
Thom Hutton, left-footed punter, sends Reggie Barlow back to the 7, but he has room in front of him. But it closes quickly, brings it out to the 17, and that's where the Jaguars will put it in play. They went 80 yards on their opening drive for this early 7-0 lead. We'll see what they do their second go-round.
Thank you for calling Saturn. This is Jeff. How can I help you?
On an averagely busy day, we'll have about 1,000 calls.
My horn was beeping whenever it wanted to, by itself.
Oh, gosh. I can pull up your service history records here.
So you have all of this.
I try to treat everybody that I speak to like they're my favorite aunt.
Now, do you want my home phone number?
Yes, ma'am. You really are part of the family, and there are people here who care about you, and there are people here who are looking out for your best interests. Thank you for calling Saturn. This is Jeff. How can I help you?
Okay, I'll be back on Tuesday. The number's on the fridge. I color-coded all your meals so you won't be confused. The blue one is a beef dish. B is for beef. The pink one's a pork dish. P is for pork. You get the idea. The green one is for vegetables. It should be violet for vegetables.
But I thought you might see violet but think purple and interpret pork, which would defeat the whole purpose of convenient color coding altogether. 4 minutes on high, stir halfway. Bye, guys.
So what do you guys want for dinner, blue or pink?
Did somebody say McDonald's?
I hope Mom color-coded breakfast, too.
There's no question that computers open up entirely new worlds. But what about children who live in a world that can't afford personal computers? Fortunately, as of today, we'll never have to ask that question again. Network computers allow everyone to join the information age. And we'd like to say, welcome, Oracle, enabling the information age.
It's game 4 of the ALCS as the Orioles try to even the score with the Indians. Coverage begins tonight on Fox.
7-0, 7:24 to play in the opening quarter. Pam Oliver with us this week and has more on Natron Means. Hiya, Pam.
Well, Tom, as you saw, Natron Mean was hobbling horribly. He was taken off of the field onto a cart. We believe he's getting x-rays. The diagnosis is a left ankle strain. His return is questionable. Back to you.
All right, Pam, terrific work. And we'll be checking back in with her throughout the afternoon. First down for the Jaguars on their second possession of the game. And they give it to Stewart, replacing Means in a big hole off the left side. And he's all the way out to the 34-yard line.
Yeah, and now with Means out, we talked about Stewart being a faster, quicker version of Natron Means. And this is what we mean. No pun intended. But he can get down the field. He's a breakaway type of guy. Whereas Means will just try to run you over. Coughlin has to feel very confident about the fact that Means goes out. He's still got another horse to bring in that can be effective on the ground.
Stewart, a #1 draft pick in '95 out of Tennessee. Short drop Brunell. A bullet into the arms of Jimmy Smith. And he is slammed at the 46-yard line by Brian Dawkins, a second-year safety out of Clemson. And some extra pushing and shoving going on. Dave Wydell along with Dawkins.
Dawkins made the hit, a great hit, but, you know, it's after the fact. The chains move as we look at Dave Wydell there, who has been known to have a little extracurricular activity now and then.
First down.
But people talk about what the quarterback is and what he means. It's all set up by the run. This is just a quick slant, and it's all timing. That ball's got to come in there fast. The coverage isn't all that bad by Taylor. He's close, but the timing of the route is very good. And now Jimmy just gets jacked up. And I tell you, that's close. And whether or not that ball came out early.
Oh, that's a fumble.
That's very close.
Unquestionably, that appeared to be a fumble. Dawkins stood up Jimmy Smith, and the ball came loose shortly after contact.
They ruled forward progress, but I want to see when that ball came out.
Okay, John, whenever you're ready.
Well, they ruled forward progress, meaning that as he was on his way back in the air, the play essentially is blown dead. That's what they say. But the ball did come out before he hit the ground.
Jacksonville already 8 first downs. They went 80 yards on their opening possession. And they moved better than 35 on their second possession. Brunell looking for the big ball. And batted away by Bobby Taylor step for step.
One problem Brunell had last week, he didn't throw the deep ball very well. And Bobby Taylor comes up limping. 2 shots deep, he had guys wide open. He doesn't make the play. This ball hangs in the air. Now, Bobby Taylor can use what's called closing speed. The distance you make up between the time the ball leaves the quarterback's hand and the time it's caught. He makes that ground up, and look, it makes a great play.
And he injured himself, Ron. He's slow to get up. In fact, the Philadelphia Eagles medical staff coming out to take a look at Taylor.
Well, the worst part about that may not be what happens in the secondary. I mean, Bobby Taylor has been criticized a little bit about his play back there, but he leads the team in sacks with 2 sacks. They're losing their best sack man right now.
Your heart's pounding, adrenaline's pumping.
They light you up, and you go.
We asked some of Hollywood's hottest stuntmen to switch antiperspirants and try Degree.
What's body heat activate? Probably means when you get warm, that it starts working.
As your body heat rises, Degree releases extra protection when you need it most.
I heated up, and it cooled me down.
I was on fire, and I was dry.
I don't want my guys to see me sweat. This stuff kept up, even in 40-foot-high fireballs. Dry as a baby.
Body heat activated Degree. Your body heat turns it on.
Jim Harbaugh and Jay Lewenberg for 1-800-COLLECT.
Jim, next time you call me collect, call me 1-800-COLLECT.
Jay, give it a rest.
No, 1-800-COLLECT saves me up to 44%.
Yeah? Are we going to practice or what?
You should have used 1-800-COLLECT!
Think Jim's learned his lesson? One more play ought to do it. 1-800-COLLECT. Save up to 44%.
More people who make a living with their tools buy their tools at the Home Depot. And with our incredible selection, all at guaranteed low prices, it's a pretty powerful argument for why you should shop here too. The Home Depot, where people who know their stuff buy their stuff.
Mom's calling Enterprise rent a car, because our car is sick.
Enterprise will arrange to pick you up.
Wow.
Drive you to our place and get you on your way.
Everybody loves to be picked up.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
What caused Bart to go from
School will be fun.
to
Buttman.
see how Bart became a legend on an all-new Simpsons next Sunday.
Bobby Taylor moving a great deal better. He actually trotted off the field and has been walking up and down the sideline. Hopefully that is a good sign for the Philadelphia third-year corner out of Notre Dame. Charles Dimry, 38, 10-year veteran, checks in to replace Taylor. Second down and 10 at the Philadelphia 45. A delay for Stewart, a huge hole. Inside the 30, caught from behind, down to the 25-yard line.
You know, we talk about the O-line, then we talk about Tony Baselli blocking. Well, watch this. He's going to pull and make a great block. Blam. I mean, when you got a guy, he stops 3 guys over there. I mean, when you got one guy coming over and making that kind of impact on your defensive line, then you can make good plays like this. And a lot's been talked about Philadelphia's defensive line. You know, they got a rookie down there and Harris starting. Rhett Hall probably is the only guy that's really playing well.
Play blown dead. Jimmy Jones came across the line. It appeared early.
Starting to circle, substitute some of those defensive linemen in there. When you get gaping holes like that opened up, you're not holding the point.
98, defense, still first down.
Johnny Greer, our referee today.
Jimmy Jones, free agent from St. Louis, getting a little anxious.
Boy, Baselli following the long list of great offensive linemen out of Southern California, most notably Ron Yeri and Anthony Munoz. Wide open is Jimmy Smith, and he's pushed out of bounds inside the 10. Another Jacksonville first down. So far, Ronnie, this is no contest.
Well, they do the smart thing. They know that Bobby Taylor's out of the game, so they go right to his replacement, Charles Dimry, who was playing very far off. I mean, look at the cushion. Dimry's not even in the picture. I can't say I blame Dimry. I mean, just coming off the bench cold. But we're going to have to tighten it down sooner or later. That's not going to get it.
And this massive Jacksonville offensive line dominating up front thus far. First and goal from the 8. Stewart looking for the end zone. He is there for a second time. Touchdown, Jacksonville.
Hey, there's no nice way to put it. The Eagles are just getting blown out up front. Watch what happens to these 3 defensive linemen here. It's just man-to-man blocking. The linebacker can't get around the outside. I mean, nobody is touching the running backs until they get into the secondary.
Well, you see Dave Wydell, the center. He was blocking Willis 6 yards off the line of scrimmage.
I don't know what Stewart's numbers are right now, but they got to be huge. 5 rushes, 56 yards. 11-2 a crack.
And already 2 touchdowns.
He's trying to buy a ticket to Hawaii already. Better take his own line with him.
Teammates sponsored by the U.S. Army. Be part of our team in the Army. Dennis Green's team is poised for a playoff run thanks to a healthy Robert Smith, a more experienced Brad Johnson, and a pair of great wide receivers.
Johnson back, looking.
You got Chris.
Sidesteps and throws this one to the corner.
The Bucs crave the chance to erase the sting of 4 straight playoff defeats during the Dennis Green regime.
It's freezing, it's quiet, but you get used to it. You grow to love it.
Snowfox 2-1. This is Snowfox base.
This is Snowfox 2-1. Then a storm comes up, and I'm the one who's got to get us out of here. And I remember who gave me courage. This is for them. For my mom and dad, who never missed a game. For Drill Sergeant McCardle, who showed me what it takes to be a leader.
Visual contact, Sergeant.
And for myself, who became one.
It says here, the internet is the future of business. We have to be on the internet.
Why?
Doesn't say.
What should Hank Hill be more worried about? Someone stealing his wife? Or someone ruining his lawn? A brand new King of the Hill next Sunday on Fox.
Well, we have played 11 minutes, and thus far, a game thoroughly dominated by the Jacksonville Jaguars, already a 14-0 lead.
And it's a classic example of what's been wrong with the Eagles in the past here, not being able to go away from home, a tough environment, a loud environment, and get things going. But now, this is what we talked about, Tom. How long will they stick with the game plan? How long will they try to stick with the run and Waters and Garner?
Deuce Staley from the 5, and he can't even get it back to the 20. Just a 12-yard return.
Jacksonville just outweighs this line, and that's all it is. Watch right here on this side. I mean, there's a body on a body, a hat on a hat. And when your linebackers are getting blocked by offensive linemen, you've got no chance to stop the run. That's why they designed schemes to keep linebackers running free. But as soon as offensive linemen get out on your backers, that means you've got problems up front in your front four. They're not holding at the point.
High formation, and it's batted down at the line of scrimmage and then nearly intercepted. Tony Bracken's got a hand on the ball. As you look at Bobby Taylor, the word is he has a hyperextended right knee. And his return is questionable at this point as he leaves off the cart.
Boy, and the kind of firepower that Jacksonville has in the perimeters, you cannot afford to lose your starting cornerback.
Little delay, and Waters stuffed behind the line of scrimmage. A host of white jerseys around the football, led by 94 Kelvin Pritchett, a loss of 2.
You talk about defensive lines that are making an impact. Jacksonville now, second series in a row, making penetration on the other side of the football, making plays. You talk about this Eagle offensive line. They brought in, look at the average yards per play. You know, they bring in Steve Everett, Ian Beckles. They made a lot of changes up there. In the age of free agency, you know, you're not going to have success right away with that many changes right in the core of your offense.
4 receivers check in. Detmer steps up, good protection, drops it off, and unable to handle it is Waters. And early frustration shown by the 7th-year star out of Notre Dame.
You know, that's sticking to the plan like we talked about, but Ricky's emotion and energy sometimes can work against him. And you saw right there, he got upset about dropping that ball. He's got to keep his head together. This team needs him to keep his head together. He needs to keep his head together.
So now punting close to his own end zone is Thom Hutton. And back at his own 40. Reggie Barlow, they're coming after this one. And they got it. Ball is still loose. No one can seem to find the handle. Philadelphia recovers, but Jacksonville will get the ball at the 20. There is a penalty flag down on the field. Well, you could see the Jaguars made up their mind right away that they were coming after Hutton.
Hey, they got him backed up. That's exactly what you should do.
And again, our referee, Johnny Greer, will fill us in.
We had the ball being recovered by the kicking team. We then had an illegal forward pass, which went forward and was incomplete. The ball will be put at the spot of the pass. First down.
Well, in the middle of all those bodies, we didn't see somebody pick it up and try to throw it.
Well, like you said, there's too many bodies. Couldn't you tell, though, that the Jaguars are coming watching the middle of the field? They bring a guy in there late, 2 guys late, and that's the difference. They completely confuse the blocking scheme. The personal protector has to choose somebody. No matter who he chooses, he's wrong. And right there, there's the illegal forward pass.
So the ball will be spotted just inside the 12-yard line.
I mean, that is just a great job by Larry Pasquale, the special teams coach of the Jaguars, who incidentally used to be with the Eagles special teams.
Looked like Dave Thomas was who came in and made the block. And a throw to the corner, and it's caught by Jimmy Smith inside the 5, down to the 4. Right now, McDonald's game break time. Let's return to JB at our Fox Television Center.
Thom and Ron here in the box, 7-3, Detroit. Back at Thom and Ron.
If you need a jockstrap, there's several on the field in Tampa Bay right now. Just to let you know.
Play fake. Brunell rolling
to run this.
And he'll hang on to it and is tackled, wrapped up right there by James Willis down to the 3-yard line. A little tentative, maybe?
Yeah, you know, last year Brunell would have taken off and run that ball. But like he told us yesterday, I feel this game like I want to go ahead and go for it. Last game, Coach gave me the green light. In my mind, I said yes, and I also said no. Now he's going to try to do it. But, you know, your instincts take over there. He double-clutched a little bit and didn't go for it.
3rd down and a yard. 3 tight ends check in for the Jaguars. Stewart gunning for his 3rd touchdown. He's very close, and he's in.
You know, I wish I could draw up some elaborate scheme that the Jaguars are using to block the Eagles defensive line, but there's no scheme, there's no tricks. It's just weight, and it's straight ahead blocking, and it's my guy on your guy, and I'm going to beat you.
A little ironic. The Jaguars playing NFC-style football all these years. Line up the big bodies and run it down your throat.
You know, that's the thing they were worried about coming into this game. They said, we're not, you know, we're playing a team NFC East, smash-mouth football, all that. We're not sure how we're going to match up with them. I tell you what, you get that beef on the front line, you can match up with anybody. It's called moving people.
Already a career-high 3 touchdowns in the game for James Stewart. And for crying out loud, he's done it in a quarter. Stewart playing in place of the injured Natron Means has the big bodies up front. 21-0.
To help capture the realism for Kart World Series, Archero Wells driver Max Pappas let us take his car out for a spin.
How's she feel? Feels pretty sweet. The sequential gearbox is amazing. I don't even have to get off the throttle to shift. Beautiful, you're doing great. I'm still getting a little push in turn 2.
We'll put 1 turn into the front wing.
Hey, I can see you guys now. Wave! Hello. This is smooth riding. I wish you'd had a cup holder. That would be nice.
PlayStation. Right now at Kinko's great presentation sale, when you buy 1 transparency, you get the 2nd free. That goes for binding and computer time, too. But time is running out, so check your paper for more great deals and be sure to hurry in soon.
We asked some of Hollywood's hottest stuntmen to try Degree.
What's body heat activate?
As your body heat rises, Degree releases extra protection when you need it most.
I heated up, and it cooled me down.
I was on fire, and I was dry.
Body heat activated Degree. Your body heat turns it on.
Key play, setting up another touchdown.
Yeah, the block punt. You're down by your own end zone. They got to worry about protecting first. Good call there by Larry Pasquale, special teams coach. He snuck it in late. He completely confused the blocking scheme.
Block punt led to a 3rd Jacksonville touchdown. The Jaguars come in at 4-1. They weren't all that impressive last week against Cincinnati. They did manage a 21-13 win. Their biggest win of the season, unquestionably, here against Pittsburgh on the blocked field goal try at the end of the game. They were roughed up in Washington a week later, but they look mighty tough thus far today. Low line drive, Staley from the 5. And he brings it out to the 23-yard line.
You talk about using what you have, taking the ball and going downfield. I mean, here they start on their own side of the field, but on that one, of course, with the block punt, but you're talking about some serious drives. 80, 82. None of that is any good news for Philadelphia's defense.
Come out in the I formation. Turner and Waters in the backfield, and they give it to Ricky Waters, and his best run of the afternoon. Out to the 28-yard line. The Eagles rushed for 203 yards against Washington last week on 50 carries. The most not only this season in the NFL, but the Eagles registered the most they've had in a game in almost 11 years.
But you see there, like Ray Rhodes told us, they're sticking to the plan. First down, I mean, you're down 21-0. It's getting to that danger line where you got to get out of your game plan, but they're sticking with it. They're running Ricky Waters, keep the ball on the ground.
They'll do it again on the 2nd and 5, and Waters stood up at the line of scrimmage.
But at some point, when that stops becoming productive, like on that play, they're going to have to try to open it up. The bad news for Eagles fans, Detmer hasn't shown to be the kind of guy that can let it loose way downfield and beat you on big pass plays. He's a short game, middle of the field control passing type quarterback.
Third down for Philadelphia. And a long 3 as Detmer drops back, flushed out of the pocket, looking down the field. He'll keep it himself, and he'll pick up a first down out to the 35.
Nice decision there by Ty Detmer. He wanted to roll out and go to the 2 tight ends, but there was absolutely nothing. He made a good decision, knew where the first down was. And then the pressure is key. Here's Turner. Now he wants to try to get it to him. Thomas, he holds back with him, but at that time, by the time he was open, I think Detmer decided to pull it down and go for it. He got open late.
Well, the first 15 minutes, no contest. They stand and cheer their Jaguars here in Jacksonville. 21-0. We'll be back with a second quarter in a moment.
To help prove the new Advanced Energizer really does last over 30% longer than Duracell in these digital cameras, we've enlisted Energizer scientist Dr. B.D. Trang. Lie, Trang. And the bunny's fish food.
So, what's your favorite color?
Pink. That's right. Now, which battery will last over 30% longer in these cameras?
Energizer. Well, lucky bunny.
Dave Thomas is on the coast, asking everyone about Wendy's new fresh stuffed pitas.
Your pitas are dreamy, Dave.
I thought you liked them.
Wendy's fresh stuffed pitas, the only way to describe them is
Fabulous.
These days, we could all use more endurance. And now I've got it. Because new high-endurance deodorant from Old Spice lasts a full 24 hours. No one else is this strong, this long, guaranteed. Hey, no matter what you're into, now you got all the endurance you need. A full 24 hours.
Could you help me with the computer?
You need a laptop.
That's too small. I just wanted something to email my grandson.
Email. I got one more for you. Video conferencing. This puppy, great for presentations. 80 megs of RAM, DVD, lots of fonts. You like fonts? Of course you do. Everybody likes fonts. 900 megawatts, 1200 dpi color print.
Gateway systems feature Intel Pentium processors. Call us and get one that's right for you.
Welcome back to the NFL on Fox. 21-0 Jacksonville in front, Ronnie, and they have just dominated the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they have, and it goes back to that weight difference on the offensive line. Philadelphia with the ball right now. We talked about using the weapons in the beginning of the show. Hey, they got to get to that. Charlie Gardner, Turner, he's got to get involved. And where's the tight end? Use him.
First down after the 5-yard pickup from Detmer. They set up the screen. There's one of the weapons we're talking about, and leaping close to a first down, Kevin Turner.
That's what I'm talking about. Now they go back to the arsenal. Kevin Turner had a couple big plays last week against the Redskins, and talking about the arsenal, the type of play they're using, the screen play. I mean, if you're going to run a West Coast style of offense, everybody knows one of the best weapons you have is the screen play. They ran it some last week. It worked great. They got back to it here.
It was good enough for a first down. Turner had the big game, 81 combined yards off the line of scrimmage on 4 receptions and 3 carries in that win over Washington. Waters maybe for 2. Up to the 47, stopped by the former Eagle, Clyde Simmons.
When people look at Jacksonville's defense and, Clyde Simmons there, the old man of the NFL, so to speak, they don't have a lot of impact guys on defense. Nobody does these days with free agency. What they have is great coaching from Dick Duran, the defensive coordinator, and they play sound, tight football. Gap control down the front line. The linebackers are free to run around, make plays, and the secondary plays smart most of the time.
Detmer able to get it away. Finds Waters, who slips a tackle. What a move, and he's inside the 40 to the 38-yard line.
That's exactly what I meant right there when I'm saying Ricky Waters has got to keep his head in the game. He can't let his emotion take his physical talent away from this contest. I mean, this is all Ricky Waters here. With other backs, this would have been a blow-up shot. But Detmer hangs him out a little bit. The corner's coming up, you see right here. But that's just using that flipper, and now watch this. He makes Chris Hudson miss. Figures look like he missed earlier. That's just effort by Ricky Waters.
Philadelphia on the move. They're into Jacksonville territory at the 38, and Detmer again to throw. Steps up, and the ball is loose. Are they calling it a fumble? Yes, they are. Apparently, Detmer had not started to bring his arm in a forward motion. Tony Bracken's able to get a hand on it, but Philadelphia falls on the football.
They were talking about second-round pick from last year, Tony Bracken, number 90. He's just going to come around the corner. He led all rookies, second in NFL and all rookies last year in sacks. He just beats Mayberry around the outside. Once again, Detmer talked to us last night, not trying to hold the ball too long. I don't think it was a matter of that. I think it was some good coverage, and it was a good play by Bracken.
4 sacks already this season for Bracken. Waters, wow, what a move, a couple of moves, stepping over would-be tacklers inside the 40. Stepped right over Tony Bracken's, and that's hard to do. Waters just a marvelous talent, as everyone knows. A free agent at the end of this season. Would like to stay in Philadelphia. Whether he will or not remains to be seen. But they will not negotiate apparently during the year. Third down, Detmer steps up, throws, and he was looking for Irving Fryer. But the pass was off the line, and Detmer gets off the turf. They'll have to punt. Or at the 38, do you think about going?
Well, I think Ray Rhodes thought about it there for a second, because I saw Ty Detmer looked over. You're down 21, and no parts of that are good. But
for the Eagles, number 4,
I don't know. That's a tough one, Tommy. You're right. That's a tough one. I'm not so sure I don't go for that one.
Well, their
I don't want to
defense
second guess.
Been able to even remotely slow down Jacksonville.
I'm not so sure I don't go for that one. It's such a long distance.
Had his last punt blocked, and he drops this one, takes a Jacksonville bounce. And the ball is down by Chad Lewis. We'll see where they spot it, maybe out close to the 10. And that's where they'll put it down. Good punt by Hutton. 21-0 Jacksonville.
2 nearly identical Porsche 911s. One destined for Le Mans, the other for a quieter life in America. But then again, expecting any Porsche to lead a quiet life may be asking a bit too much.
Hi.
Porsche. there is no substitute.
No, this one's on us, sir.
Right. Can I carry this to your car?
So, want to take this baby for a spin?
Sure. Mind sitting in the back seat?
No problem. You wouldn't believe the legroom back here. It's like a plush couch. You can't do that with anti-lock brakes. Hey.
Hey.
So who's the guy in the back?
That's just Randy.
Hey, how you doing? Good looking kid.
So, what are we doing?
What are we doing? We're cruising in one of the smoothest V8s ever made.
You look really pretty.
Hey, you two ever think of having kids? Child-proof lock. Just thought, you know, let you know.
Hi.
Hi, 2.
3.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Porsche, who wish to remind you there is no substitute. By Aflac, insuring over 40 million people worldwide. And by Snickers. Not going anywhere for a while? Grab a Snickers. Hungry? Why wait?
Well, if you don't have a ticket for the game, you just hang out along the St. Johns River. One of only 2 rivers, Mr. Pitts, that runs north.
Oh, man, you're the guy.
Well, you have to do a little scouting outside of just football, you know. First down, 21-0 Jaguar lead, and Brunell throws to his left and finds James Stewart for a short gain out of the backfield. Picks up about 3. Tonight, Game 4 of the American League Championship Series. Don't miss Game 1 winner Scott Erickson. He'll take the ball for the Orioles against Jarrett Wright and the Indians. Coverage begins live, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, right here on Fox. What a Game 3 that was yesterday.
You need to go over how the squeeze play works for everybody, you know?
Your
Apparently,
Yankees got knocked out.
Now that my guys.
Second down, Brunell drops it off to Stewart, cuts it back across the field, and all that for a gain of about 3. Stop made by William Thomas. It'll bring up 3rd down.
Good job by the Eagles recognizing the screen play coming down in distance, knowing what to expect. And you said Stewart is a guy, he plays at a little faster speed, a little faster clip than Natron Means does, but he's not the kind of guy that can just take off and completely burn you all the way down the field. Once he gets going, I don't know if he has that 5th gear, so to speak, but he does have acceleration from gears 2 through 4.
Third down and 3, and Brunell out of the shotgun. And was it caught? No, incomplete pass. That could have been a big break for the Philadelphia defense.
Huge break. Key set of downs there by Philadelphia's defense. They step up and get Jacksonville off the field in 3 downs. Now you go back to Ray Rhodes' decision not to go for that. I think it's a good decision now. I mean, you look at it then, down by 21, you're on the other side of the 50, you got to scratch your head. But he put the onus on the defense to just step up and get us the ball back. Now the special teams have to do something with it and create field position.
Freddie Solomon all the way back at his 22, and he is hammered to the deck at the 30-yard line. With a couple of jerseys in the color of white getting down the field. Led by Jeff Kopp, 57-yard punt. 12-yard return and a nasty lick at the end of it.
You're all set. Have a pleasant flight.
Right.
Here you are, sir. A 2-door spec.
Spec?
Our junior executive suite.
Supersize me.
Sure. What would you like?
I don't care. Just supersize me.
Did somebody say McDonald's?
Dick is a big football fan, and since Miller Lite is now an official beer sponsor of the NFL, Dick figures, what's football without cheerleaders? Here's Dick's idea.
Come on, give it all that you got. Now's the time to take your best shot. Everybody's gonna rock and roll. We're sending 4 cheerleaders to the Super Bowl. But be the cheerleader we're searching for.
On November 2nd, find out what really happened in Agent Mulder's apartment. The truth will be exposed on the X-Files season premiere Sunday, November 2nd.
We talked about Ricky Waters having to get the ball early, having to get the ball often. You can see he's touched it, well over half of the amount of offensive plays they have. But unfortunately for them, Jacksonville knows that he's got to get it off in an early also. Well, he's on the bench.
Yeah, he's on the bench right now. They go with an I formation of Turner and Charlie Garner. Garner gets the football, try to cut it back to the inside, but a fine play made up from a safety spot by Chris Hudson. A penalty flag is down on the field.
And you can see Jacksonville brought Hudson up in that 8-man front.
Holding, 34, offense, still first down.
Kevin Turner there, fullback. He's wondering, what are you talking about?
Boy, you gotta like Turner. Came over as a free agent from New England, missed all of 95 with a serious knee injury. Solid receiver out of the backfield. So first down and 20, Detmer across the middle, and the catch is made by Michael Timpson out to the 34. Right now, for a McDonald's game break, let's go to our man James Brown at our Fox Television Center.
Thom, before it's done, I gotta believe so.
Well, by the way, they later ruled that was an incomplete pass to Michael Timpson. Line of scrimmage at the 21 on a 2nd and 20, Detmer. And what a catch by the tight end, Jimmy Johnson. Maybe a yard shy of the first down, but the big fellow went up to get it.
And that's the tight ends we're talking about using. That expands your middle of the field. Johnson's going to come down right there and work into this part of the field. He's got to find the open hole in the zone, and he sits down. But watch the catch. Tell you what, that's a big man getting up there and making a big catch.
And a big third down for the Eagles, 3rd and a yard. And they have the first down as Charlie Garner breaks it out to the 45.
I'll tell you a guy that's fun to watch, Kevin Turner, 34, the fullback. You know, you always want a fullback who knows his role, who's not going to complain about not getting the ball and all that kind of stuff. Well, not only does he do a job when he gets the ball, but he can lead through the hole and make some good one-on-one blocks like he did there. You know, they'll never show up in the stats, but they'll show up on the coach's film.
He had the big game last week against Washington when the Eagles dominated the Redskins. But they've been dominated today, 21-0.
Detmer checked off there. Blitz.
Garner finds room, and he's across midfield to the 49, wrapped up by Bracken.
Boy, Charlie Garner did a nice job of shaking loose Travis Davis. He came down on a strong safety blitz, and he juiced it big time. Charlie Gardner, the more I see Gardner, the more I wonder, why doesn't he get more? I mean, you got Waters, and he's productive and all that, but there's times when he is like the Dorsey Levens of the combination, you know, between Levens and Green Bay. I mean, he makes a lot of things happen.
Short drop, and the catch is made out to the 39, and this time Garner showing you he can catch the football.
Once again, spreading it out, and that's the advantage of having, I think, a guy like a Kai Detmer, very cerebral, very, you know, we talked to him coming into the meeting the other day, you don't even know he's in the room.
Right.
You know, very nice, low-key guy, but a smart guy. He knows this West Coast style. John Gruden, the offensive coordinator, they were together in Green Bay. He knows how he has to be with this and how to make it move.
And again, Detmer checking off on a 1st and 10 at the Jaguar 41. And Garner in there ran into his own man and makes something out of pretty much nothing. Inside the 40 to the 39, he bumped into Kevin Turner.
First down by Travis Davis. Gain of 2. Second down.
A good job now. Jacksonville starting to run blitz, using the linebacker to say, hey, go toward the quarterback, but look for the run on the way in. That time forcing Garner to bounce way outside. There's Dick Geron. defensive coordinator for Jacksonville Jaguars. But what a job he did last year, especially late in the season. They got in the playoffs. People didn't believe him. Darn near made it to the Super Bowl.
Out of the backfield, it's Waters, who is checked back into the game, and he makes a reception on second down to the 34-yard line. It'll bring up third down and close to 2.
Here's a guy that stays around the football, Kevin Hardy, 51. He is going to be assigned to lock down Ricky Waters on the perimeter when it comes time to pass. One thing he said, I don't mind going back in the pass game. That I like to get some interception. I don't know what's with these outside linemen. They all want interceptions. William Thomas said the same thing last night. I want interception. It's like sacking isn't a thing anymore.
3rd and 2 for the Eagles, trying to keep the drive alive, and Detmer wants timeout. So we'll take a break. 5:59 to play until halftime, and the Eagles need a touchdown.
Okay, class, rules of driving. Norman.
Observe the speed limit, stay 2 car lengths behind, and always pass on the left.
Wrong answer.
There are driving schools, and there are driving schools. At the Russell Racing School in Sonoma, California, you only fail if you get passed. But don't forget your Visa card, because you won't move an inch using American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
Boys, check it out. Coach.
Check it out.
Dawson, nice tattoo. You've been traded to Miami.
Gonna be a while? Grab a Snickers.
What do you think?
Fish.
That's right, a fish.
After 30 years of dirt and 30 years of cleaning, a Moen faucet with the new Lifeshine finish will look as good as it did 30 years ago. Lifeshine by Moen. Buy it for looks. Buy it for life.
A mysterious cult
I am a messenger.
foretells of an alien invasion.
Landing site?
You bet.
An all-new visitor, Friday at 8/7 Central.
Ray Rhodes and the Eagles trailing 21-0. Just under 6 minutes to play until halftime. Who are the only players left in our Aflac trivia question? On the Jacksonville Jaguars from the 1995 expansion draft.
That's going to be a tough one.
Big third down for Philadelphia. At the Jaguar 34, 3rd and 2. Detmer makes a completion good enough for a first down to the 29. He finds Irving Fryer for the first time today.
Boy, Irving Fryer took a shot. Talked to him last night. He said with his old age, he's learned to come across the middle in traffic a lot more under control. But he said, don't be fooled. I can still run. I just can't stop as fast.
Right. Boy, he was quite an engaging guy, isn't he? Irving Fryer, this is 14th season, a former #1 pick overall in the draft back in 1984 by New England. Had his best season as a pro last year. Caught a career high and Eagle team record 88 passes for 1,195 yards. And with his 676 career receptions, he is 10th all time.
And they need a guy like an Irving Fryer to step up, because without a healthy Chris T. Jones starting, you look at what they have in the perimeter, and it's not much. That's why they have to use weapons elsewhere.
Showing blitz. And a big hole for Waters, although they blew a flag and whistled it dead. And there's a reason why there was such a big hole.
Ball start prior to snap. 62, offense. Still first down.
That's Big Ian Beckles, free agent from Tampa Bay, brought here in the offseason. He battled out with Mike Zendowski for that starting left guard position. But once again, Tom, that's another guy coming in new along with Steve Everett at center. You know, they paid a lot of money for Beckles, Everett, and Zendowski, who's not even starting.
And Beckles missed most of the preseason with a foot injury. So they back him up. 1st and 15.
Detmer checking it off.
3-step drop, flag down. Reception made by Fryer. He'll go to the end zone, but will it stand?
Boy, they may bring this one back. You see Detmer, oh, it's going to stand. That's why you never stop playing the play. Urban Fryer, a veteran.
Defense, lined up in the neutral zone. The penalty is declined.
Jeff Loggeman calls for lining up in the neutral zone, and it's a touchdown to Irving Fryer from Ty Detmer.
Did you see everybody on the defense relax? I think Jacksonville kind of thought that that penalty was for them, was against Philly. Fryer's just going to catch a quick slant inside, but now watch everybody kind of just, you know, he eases up. They think that they're going to get the penalty. And what they end up getting is 6 points put on them.
Brunell for the extra point, and they'll blow it dead before it ever gets started. But a big, big touchdown with 4:41 left here for the Eagles, who look dead and buried after the opening quarter when they fell behind 21-0. And here they are with a touchdown, and if their defense can stand and go into the locker room at halftime down 14, maybe you feel a lot better about things.
Well, it's like Ray said, we're going to stick to the plan no matter what. You know, the plan, the defense comes out right after they don't go for the first down and punt it. They make a good stop.
56, defense.
Again.
The ball will be placed on the 1-yard line.
You know, at what point does the Eagles start thinking about going for 2 here? And the ball's on the 1, a pretty short try, but I don't know. They guess they're just going to go for 1.
Take the easy ones while you can get them. And Brunell right down the middle. Perfect 10 for 10 for him this season. So Irving Fryer, they call him the Reverend, in for the touchdown, his second in the year.
Napa carries more parts than anyone in the country. And during a big sale, I feel I can carry each one myself.
Carry out a case of Napa motor oil, only 59 cents a quart after rebate. And while you're here, enter to win big in Napa's Win with the Winner sweepstakes.
Lots of people come to Napa looking for hard-to-find auto parts. I tell them, the only time parts are hard to find is when you're trying to find them someplace else.
Put on a pair of Napa premium wiper blades and get a free gallon of washer fluid. Only at Napa.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Mazda. Come see what happens when a car company has more engineers and fewer accountants. Mazda.
Eagles have found a ray of sunshine. They trail 21-0, but then a touchdown pass to Irving Fryer from Ty Detmer has gotten the Eagles on the board.
The Eagles had to answer quickly before the half, and they did. Detmer keeps his head. John Gruden, offensive coordinator, keeps his head, and they run the game plan. But it's tough when you spot somebody 21 points to stick with that game plan.
Reggie Barlow from the 2. And he's out to the 22-yard line. Pushed out of bounds by Michael Zordich. A penalty flag is down on the field.
First and 10, Jacksonville at the 23.
And we'll wait until Johnny Greer tells us what that's all about. Holding against Jacksonville. That'll move them back.
Holding on the receiving team, number 28, doing the run back. First down.
Let's go back to the touchdown here. Dave Thomas, man-to-man, working on Pryor. Watch Dave Thomas's right foot. You think Irving Pryor's old? Bam. Right there, you are done as a cornerback because now he's reaching. And if we let it run, he never gets position out of the hole. Irving Pryor beat him out of the hole man-to-man. Dave Thomas is a big guy. It's tough to play when you're that big inside the slot.
Jacksonville from its own 13. James Stewart getting the front of the load today after the early ankle injury to Natron Means. Well, we've given you some time to think about our Aflac trivia question. The only players left on this Jacksonville squad from a 95 expansion draft. Who are they? Well, there you have it. You have to be a hardcore fan to know that.
And these two guys here.
Or maybe if you watch NFL Total Access, you would know that.
You would definitely know it, because I'll tell you. Can't miss that show.
Mark Brunell throws, and McCardell over the middle. Out to the 38-yard line. That'll move the chains. 3:45 to play in the half. 22-yard gain.
We talked about it, McCardell being the guy inside they like to get the ball to. And, you know, I give him credit, a lot of guts to be running across the middle of the field full speed. He's got to have confidence in that man to throw a strike. And is it a strike? I think so. I think so.
He's got a gun.
You talk about what Brunell does running the football. Well, I'm watching this guy throw strikes 20, 25 yards down the field. But it all starts with protection. If he's got clear lanes to see, he can throw your eyes out.
Well, they come with a reverse the other way. Breaking one tackle is Willie Jackson. And one of the original Jaguars all the way inside Philadelphia territory.
Like he talked about it, one of the original Jaguars brought in the expansion draft that both expansion teams had back in '95 from Dallas. And all this is effort. He's going to loop back around and get the handoff. But there's Eagles there to make the play. There's one missed tackle. That's Big Richard Dent. That's another one right there. Slight push in the back. And then there's two more downfield.
13-yard gain for Jackson. Brunell fakes one way, rolls the other, and now he'll take off. And he'll get out of bounds at the 43-yard line.
That referee better learn to get out of the way. The stick holder there. People don't realize the speed of this game. He's shrugging it off.
That's a dangerous job.
That guy there has got to work on his flexibility before the game.
What do you suggest he do? Stretch a little more?
Put on some new glasses. I think the tint's a little dark on those bad boys. They look cool.
Well, they look mighty good. That's all that matters.
That's like they say, it's not how you play, it's how you look.
That's exactly right. We're here in Florida for crying out loud.
So what if you get your ACL blown out the sideline? You look good doing it.
See the numbers on Mark Brunell. Mighty impressive. No ill effects from that knee injury. This team leads 21-7 at the 2-minute warning.
Presenting the play that made the difference. Brought to you by Wendy's, where freshness is what makes the difference. In Week 4, the Colts led the Bills by 26 points. Stay tuned to see how a Buffalo Stampede turned a runaway around.
Dave Thomas is looking for people who haven't tried Wendy's fresh stuffed pitas.
May I approach the bench, Your Honor?
Please.
According to our records, you haven't tried our new pitas.
I guess I'm guilty.
Well, there's 4 to choose from. My favorite is the chicken Caesar.
I'll take that into consideration.
All 4 of Wendy's delicious pitas are stuffed full of crisp vegetables, and we have 2 with tender chunks of chicken breast.
These are great.
Say, Judge, you know Charlie Small.
I do. He should be back in 2 to 3.
Don't be the last one to try them.
The Bills scored 27 second-half points to author one of the greatest comebacks in history, as this remarkable romp capped a sensational 37-35 Buffalo win.
As you may have read on the internet, independent brewmasters and beer experts conducted a tasting of just about every major beer in the country. For 4 months, they sampled ice and regular beers for character, flavor, and overall quality. In the end, the judges named one beer the best tasting beer in America. Old Milwaukee. So when you want the best tasting beer, now you know exactly what to ask your server for. Old Milwaukee.
Are these playboys getting played?
Call it what you will, but, she made a black man blush.
Between Brothers returns with a brand new episode Thursday at 8:30, 7:30 Central.
Coming up on the Dockers Khakis halftime report, JB Terry will bring you scores and highlights from around the league and our Fox Sports ticker. We'll have up to the minute second stats. That's all coming up on the Dockers Khaki halftime report.
Huge series now for the Eagles. And just sitting here 2 minutes, going into half, 21-7. It's got to be stout.
Second down and 5 at the Philadelphia 43. And a quick completion on a short drop by Brunell, but short of the first down. Jimmy Smith on the catch. Jaguars 3 timeouts. Clock still running at 1:40. They're facing a 3rd down and 3.
Jimmy Smith, a former Eagle.
Yeah, they had him during the preseason and let him go. He's turned into one of the best receivers in the AFC, if not all of football. And stuffed on a 3rd down carry is Stewart. So now Jacksonville's going to have to punt it away, and you talk about Philadelphia needing a stand.
That's the play they needed. Looked like William Thomas, 51, was in there initially. Mamula was in on the play. That's a huge, huge stop for the Eagles.
And if you're a Jacksonville fan, Ronnie, you have to be asking right now, what in the world? Why weren't they trying to throw the ball and get some more points?
Well, you know, I think that Jacksonville's got into a little bit of that comfort zone. You know, you blast off, you go up by 21, you kind of yawn when they get a touchdown to make it 21-7. Looking at the offensive coordinator there, Chris Palmer, you know, it's easy to kind of let the guard down a little bit. Maybe not expecting a blitz, maybe not expecting for Philly to be that aggressive. Hey, I count 2 big plays now. A series earlier, right after the situation where Ray Rhodes didn't go for the first down, he punted it. They had a big stand, 3 and out for the defense. And here they make a big play.
Philadelphia spent its 2nd timeout.
Oh, that's going to be trouble.
Punt and a beauty laid down there by Brian Barker down to the 2-yard line, and a penalty flag has come in. Reggie Barlow, the first man down the field to cover it up.
Let's see who that one's on. They threw it down there. The gunner might have gone out of bounds and come in and touch the ball.
And he can't be the first man to get down there and touch it.
If that's the case. I mean, a flag down there that far, that's all it could be. Yep.
That's exactly what it is against the Jacksonville Jaguars.
That's the rule on the punt coverage. The gunner cannot be the first guy. Barlow right there. He cannot be the first guy to come in and touch the ball once he goes out of bounds.
Illegal touching on the kick. Number 84 of the kicking team. 84 was out of bounds, came back in, and was the first to touch it. Will penalize 5 yards to re-kick.
Boy, you know, that's a killer because, you know, in this business, you never know what can happen on the next snap. And, you know, just ask Mr. Coughlin here. He feels the same way. They had a great stop. They put the offense in the hole. Now they got to kick it again farther back.
And why not come after the punter here if you're Philadelphia? Looks like they are. And they are, and they're not going to get there. Barker able to get it away. And he pumps it out of bounds. We'll see where they spot it.
Wow, Barker, give Barker big-time credit there. He goes back, kicks it again, and puts it out darn near in the same area they had the down punt. And I thought Barlow almost made the same mistake again.
That's why he punted out of bounds.
Whew. Well, that drives special teams coach is crazy. You know they just screamed at him from the sidelines, don't go out of bounds and touch it first. Look at him.
Well, the Eagles have 59 seconds. They're at their own 6-yard line. 1 timeout left. And they're just going to run out the clock. Big hole for Ricky Waters. He's out to the 20-yard line, crossing the 21. 50 seconds. The clock continues to run as Detmer now hurries him up to the line of scrimmage.
They still have a timeout. When you rip off a big run like that, it may change John Gruden's thinking a little bit.
Gain of 14, 38 seconds left. They drop it off to Turner out of the backfield. He has another Philadelphia first down to the 33. and the Eagles will spend their final timeout of the half with 31 seconds remaining. I'd like to remind you next week, the new Fox NFL Sunday Night will make you smile. It all starts with the world's funniest, hosted by our buddy James Brown. Plus, you'll see all new episodes of The Simpsons and King of the Hill, followed by The X-Files. It all returns next Sunday on Fox. You're a King of the Hill guy.
Oh, I got a 1-month-old at home who spits up on me constantly. I could be on that show for a lot of different reasons, especially when it comes diaper changing time.
Now, how could you say that about young Lee Elijah? Hey, and speaking
you haven't
of
had
Elijah,
to change what I've had to change,
hey, speaking of Elijah, I'd like to send our thoughts and prayers, our best for a speedy recovery to your father, Elijah Pitts. Understand he's doing all right.
He's doing good. You know, he's talking trash again, so that's a good sign.
Good man, good man. Ty Detmer throws, and it's batted into the air and almost intercepted. Eddie Robinson got a hand on it.
Yeah, it was nice step by Eddie Robinson, and that's about the borderline of Detmer's range for arm strength and getting that ball down. If you're going to throw that ball, you got to have great zip on it, and it should have been intercepted. That ball goes right through Robinson's hand.
25 seconds left until halftime. Philadelphia out of timeouts. Reception made by Michael Timpson. Took a shot. Delivered by Hudson. Detmer hurrying him up under 15 seconds, and he'll stop the clock, spiking the ball with 12 left. Well, the problem is he just spiked the ball on third down.
Now you got fourth down.
Yeah. And I'm not sure the Eagles realize what the situation is right now.
I don't know if you realize that, but, you know, now you're sitting in a situation, 12 seconds of no timeout. You got to move the chains. Here comes...
Well, the punt team, they're going to come out.
Yeah.
They're not going to take a chance.
They're not going to take a chance on that. I'm not so sure that they realize what the down distance situation was.
Well, the play clock expires. Game clock still has 12 seconds left. And they'll back them up 5 yards, and then Philadelphia will have to punt.
Yeah, you come into this game, you look at both teams on the stat sheet, and it's reversed. I mean, you look at Jacksonville.
Offense, still fourth down.
You look at Jacksonville, and on paper, you know, their numbers aren't very good, but yet they come in here with only one loss. So you look at Philadelphia, their numbers are better offensively, second in the league on offense. But boy, the win-loss doesn't show it.
So they're going to force the Eagles to punt. They blocked one earlier, and they're coming after another one. And just barely able to get it away is Thom Hutton. And this is returnable for Barlow, and he's out to the 37. Clock stopping with 2 seconds until halftime. Boy, Hutton lucky to get that one away.
Well, Joe Wessel, the Eagles special teams coach, he did a nice job of shoring his guys up inside. Key block here, but inside, whoa. I thought that was close to roughing the kicker, but they consider it a block in there. There's Wessel right there. You want to talk about a nightmare? You hear that double thud? That's what you work on all training camp long. That's the first team out at 7 in the morning in training camp every day to prevent that double thud from happening.
Well, Brunell maybe going to take one more Hail Mary stab.
He took a shot.
Yes, he did.
Brunell took a big-time hit.
And the ball batted, and nearly making the catch was Reggie Barlow at the 2-yard line. And Brunell apparently is okay after taking that big hit. Jacksonville 21-7. JV and Terry will be along with the Dockers Khakis halftime after these messages from your local Fox station. Jacksonville a 21-7 halftime lead, and our halftime highlight is brought to you by 1-800-COLLECT.
And here we're talking about the block punt, and that's been the difference You know, in this game, I mean, the Eagles come out and they spot them 21 points, but then this was huge. It led to points for Jacksonville.
And obviously, you talked about it early, the size differential that Jacksonville had in its favor along the offensive line, and they dominated the opening 15 minutes.
I mean, right across the board, it's like a 490-pound difference, like 49 pounds per man difference from the offensive line of Jacksonville to the defensive line of Philadelphia. I mean, you can't overcome that. You can see it. They're not doing anything fancy. They're just blowing them off the ball.
And that's what we're talking about right there. No sacks, the 3 rushing touchdowns, all by James Stewart, a career high, and 93 yards rushing. And Stewart took over for Means, who was injured with the ankle early.
And what's interesting, you know, these guys, the Eagles, play against big offensive linemen all the time in the NFC East division. It's not like it's something new for them. They see it a lot. But Jacksonville just doing a good job of moving them up front.
And let's take a look at James Stewart early on.
Yeah, James Stewart, we talked about, he's a little bit faster geared than Natron Means, and he shows it. Right there, nobody touches him until he's about in the end zone. And here we talk about Tony Baselli and his pass blocking. Well, there he pulls and makes a nice block also. There, more of Stewart. Nobody touching him until he's just about in the end zone.
So the big fella's getting it done for Jacksonville up front. And we'll look ahead to the second half, where if you're Ray Rhodes and the Philadelphia Eagles, you have to feel good about the fact that you were able to come away with a touchdown there in the waning 5 minutes of the second quarter to trim the lead down to 14. Philadelphia will get the ball to begin the second half, and if the Eagles can find a way, Ron, to get down the field and throw a quick 7 on the board, they're right back in the game.
Well, it's funny when you look at the stats are pretty even. And that reflects, with the exception of the punt block, it reflects what happens when you spot a team 21 points. I mean, they got back into the game plan. Ricky did a few things here. They used them a lot. They got Turner involved a little bit. They had a nice play by Irvin Fryer on the touchdown. But, you know, it's hard to come back from that amount of points.
And the Jacksonville running game.
That's all Hoss up there, buddy. That's moving people. That's all that is. I mean, there's nothing fancy. They're just going straight ahead. And you talk about the Eagles' defensive line. I mean, they've got a rookie starting at one defensive end position. Mamula's an undersized guy at the other defensive end position. Hollis Thomas, second-year guy. He's a youngster in there. Rhett Hall probably playing the best, but they don't have enough around him. And the most disheartening thing for the Eagles is to see their linebackers getting blocked before they even get to the play. When people are getting out on your linebackers and stopping them from running, then you got serious problems.
Well, we mentioned the Eagles will get the football to begin the second half. And the wind could become a factor. We had rain early in the morning, the early part of the afternoon. They said there wouldn't be any more rain, and they could be correct there, but there's a lot more wind than we expected.
I'm sure Ray Rhodes went in at halftime and said, hey, we got to come back out, new game. Forget that we got the 14-point difference. Forget that we spotted them 21. It's a new game, and they got to stick to the plan like that. And, of course, it starts right here. Special teams for both teams have not been good. The only thing for Jacksonville, they were able to make a play today in the block punt.
Gonna have to put a finger on the football to keep it from blowing off the tee. That's Travis Davis.
Well, he got a foot on it, too.
Sure did. And staying put right there in the end zone is a rookie, Deuce Staley, so they'll bring it out to the 20-yard line. And already some extra business down there.
I mean, this turns out to be as big a game for the Eagles as they've had to date this year. And we talked about the fact that they're away from home, haven't played well, in loud places away from home. And we saw it again today. Start off, get down by 21 points right off the bat.
Not bad first half numbers for Ty Detmer. And they give it to Ricky Waters, and he has 5 quick yards out to the 25-yard line. Of course, Ty Detmer spent some time with Green Bay. Left the Packers after 4 years. He signed as a free agent in '96 with Philadelphia. He backed up Brett Favre after winning the Heisman Trophy in 1990. Then they drafted Mark Brunell. Detmer originally the number 2 quarterback, Brunell number 3. Then they flip-flopped in that role a year later and became very, very good friends and still are to this day. Reception made by Irving Fryer out to the 32. They're saying the ground caused the fumble and that he is down. And that's good enough for a first down. In fact, we asked Ty Detmer about his relationship with Mark Brunell. And here they are squaring off today.
We didn't really talk too much football. We talked probably more hunting than anything this week. And, you know, Mark and I have a good relationship, and we came pretty close in Green Bay. And it's fun to play against guys you know, and have something to talk about in the offseason. And we have bragging rights. So, you know, this will be a big game for us. But, you know, we don't play against each other really on the field, so it's a team game, and but you will have some bragging rights in the offseason.
Well, so far, Brunell, the better part of that debate as Deuce Staley gets his first carry of the season and picks up maybe 2.
Yeah, but what he didn't tell you there that he told us after the cameras were off, Mark Brunell, a huge, huge practical joker on that team. It wasn't uncommon for somebody to wake up in training camp swimming in ice.
They do a lot
bucket of ice and ice water going. And you look at Brunell, he's kind of got that look in his eye.
Two do a lot of hunting and fishing together. Second down and 11, a screen to Waters with blockers in front of him, and Waters breaks it to the sideline all the way down to the 33-yard line. Chris Hudson, a touchdown saving tackle. And that is a gain of 36 yards on a screen to Waters.
They had success with it in the first half. They run it again here. They influenced the pass. It didn't leak out and get blocked. These guys got to get blocked. Let's see if they do. Waters does a good job of making people miss. But I think Jacksonville totally caught off guard for that play in that situation.
Charlie Garner gets the football, and he's close to a first down to the 23-yard line. And again, Hudson tripped him up.
Christy Jones and Dave Thomas going at it. I think, you know, they talk about the second guy can't be the guy all the time. I think that Charlie Garner, when he sees Ricky Waters get off, he gets off right after that. I mean, it's almost like, if you look at John Gruden right there, Eagles offensive coordinator, it's almost like he said, okay, you got some, now I want some too. I'm going to show people that I'm good too.
Second down and a yard, and smothered behind the line of scrimmage is Charlie Garner by the former Eagle Clyde Simmons.
Now, it amazes me every time I see Clyde Simmons make a play for the Jaguars, because this guy has almost been resurrected down here. I mean, he goes to Arizona, and everybody thought it was going to be a perfect world in Buddy Ryan's defense in the 46, and things never came together. When he left it, people really wrote him off. He was too old, you know, got his weight up too heavy. He has made play after play after play, starting from the playoff game last year in Buffalo.
3rd and 3, Detmer to keep the drive alive, and it's batted down at the line of scrimmage by who else? Tony Brackens. He makes a living doing that. So this drive stalls, Ron, at the 25-yard line. It's now 4th down and 3, and apparently it's field goal time.
Yeah, but where they're at right now, they have to get points. Whether it's 6, whether it's 8 on a conversion, whether it's 3, they have to get points. They cannot afford to go down on the drive and not get points.
43-yard field goal attempt by Boniol. His season long is 49. Good snap, good placement, and short.
He didn't have enough leg on it.
So Chris Boniol a little short, and the Eagles come up empty. They trail by 14.
outside for it for some reason.
We'll just take the football.
So, these guys, we're not like
Oh, hi, honey. Am I excited about Thursday? Of course, Thursday's our anniversary. Of course I plan a trip. Yeah, we're taking the Orient Express to spa in Thailand for bird watching. Love you too. Bye.
New Visa Platinum.
You go to Thailand?
With a world of purchase power for the unexpected, including that trip you never thought you'd take.
This was such a surprise.
Yeah, New Visa Platinum. It's everywhere you want to be.
Meet a guy who missed the boat.
I didn't know it was so easy to buy Micron computers direct. I had no idea that Micron could have met all my company's computer needs. I didn't know. The guys on the 7th floor, they knew Micron was a leader in price and performance. I didn't. Micron could have lowered my company's total cost of ownership. I should have done my homework.
Jim, now you know. Micron desktops feature Intel Pentium 2 processors.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Toyota. Every day belongs to you. Make it count. Toyota, every day. By Budweiser, Beechwood aged for a crisp, clean, classic taste. By Doctor's Khaki. Hey, nice pants. And by Visa, the official card of the NFL that's everywhere you want to be.
Philadelphia misses a chance to put points on the board. Its opening drive for the second half. There you see Natron Means. He had to leave the game early on the opening drive, in fact, for the Jaguars with a badly sprained ankle, and obviously he will not be back. Brunell in trouble, spins away, and the ball is loose. Scramble for the football at the 32-yard line, and it looks as though Jacksonville was able to recover. The man at the bottom of the pile, Pete Mitchell.
It looked like he was trying to throw the football, and it just slipped out of his hand. I mean, for the first time today, I see pressure right there on Brunell. Boy, you talk about great hustle. Pete Mitchell.
An incomplete pass.
They
33.
Second down and 10. After a near disaster on the first play in the second half of the Jaguars. And Brunell has to eat it.
Yeah, and Tom, that was an incomplete pass. Like I thought, his arm going forward, the passing motion. Boy,
it looked like a bad call.
Now right here, let's watch Brunell. If his arm's going forward, whew. Now that ball's a fumble.
Boy, almost an identical play that they called a fumble on Ty Detmer earlier in the game.
It slips out on the way back.
And the catch is made out to the 36-yard line by Willie Jackson. A late penalty flag came down on the field. Jackson on a 3rd and 10, well shy of the first down, but again, we'll check on the flag.
Boy, and the Eagles' defensive line has resurged. I mean, they are getting pressure now on Brunell. And once again, the defense steps up. If we look at Richard Dent there. And forces the punt. They're still talking about it.
Then you have to believe that Philadelphia is going to decline the penalty.
Pass interference. 87. Offense. It's declined. 4th down.
So it's 4th down, and the Jaguars will punt.
That's McCardell. McCardell right there. He gets a push in the back. Well, I don't know where the pass interference comes in. And if they wanted to call anything, it'd be a clip, but...
Oh, bad snap. And able to handle it nicely was Brian Barker. And a penalty flag is down. Freddie Solomon dropping back to return, and he's out to the 24-yard line. But again, back at the original line of scrimmage, a penalty flag thrown. Well, if you're Philadelphia, do you make them punt it again? You don't have the best field position in the world at the 24. They just had a bad snap. So make them do it again on the illegal man.
Number 52 of the kicking team, illegally downfield, will penalize 5 yards and re-kick.
Watch the All-22 there. Watch these now. Nobody can go downfield before the ball is kicked right there. Got a guy leaking early.
Right here. Where am I at?
Grant Boyer, the guilty party. So now dropping back again is Barker, standing in his own 15. And moving up a bit is Solomon at the 25. Low line drive kick, very returnable. Solomon across the 35, the 40. And out to the 43-yard line, so they picked up on the penalty. 20 yards in field position.
Well, there's something I like about Freddie Solomon. Man. He hasn't gotten a chance to do a lot, made some good plays before. He looks like he's ready to explode any moment.
Nice pants.
Dockers, khakis.
If it were a guy's world, this would be your 9 to 5. Having kids wouldn't slow you down a bit. And you'd be so cool, you'd never sweat. But in the real world, guys sweat 40% more than women. Guys need the protection of Speed Stick antiperspirant. Protection from sweat and odor that never quits. In this world, or the world where every day is Saturday. Speed Stick. Protection just for the guys.
Oh, man. Where's he going? Mountains? River? Both? It's Tuesday. People work on Tuesday.
What caused Bart to go from
School will be fun.
to
Buttman.
see how Bart became a legend on an all-new Simpsons next Sunday.
Philadelphia trailing with 8:53 to play in the third quarter, 21-7. But they have very good field position to begin this drive.
Yeah, and the defense has stepped up and made things happen. And they've gotten people off the field now and 3 and out on a consistent basis.
Jacksonville offense, by and large, has gone to sleep since 21 points in the opening quarter. And this is Ricky Waters, and the ball is loose. And it fell right back into his lap.
Well, the Tooth Fairy saved Ricky there. Nice run. That would have been a big, big-time error for Ricky Waters. You know, running through here, watch people slap at him. The ball comes out there, and just, whew, that's also good concentration.
Waters on a 2nd and 3, smothered a couple only yards behind the line of scrimmage by Hudson up from the free safety spot along with Simmons.
One thing that Dick Duran, the defensive coordinator for the Jaguars, told me they would do to try to slow down Waters is to bring up that 8-man front. That time, Chris Hudson, the strong safety, free safety, he cheats down. So in essence, what Duran is doing, he's gambling. He's going to give up a zone passing in an effort to get to the running back to stop the play and hope that you don't get bit downfield on a big pass play.
3rd and 6. Detmer steps up, finds Fryer. Good enough for a first down to the 41-yard line. Clyde Simmons laid a lick on Detmer just as he let it fly.
I think it's clear coming into this game when they throw that they're going to work the left side of the field. Deion Figures, he comes down starting for the first time over there, but you know Detmer's got his money man and Irvin Fryer, experienced vet, been in these situations before the big game, taking advantage of a new corner and an old vet.
Waters in motion on a 1st and 10. Good protection, and the ball is batted at the line of scrimmage by Don Davey.
That's what we're talking about. Detmer throwing a lot to that left side, 130 yards. Spreading it around, as you can see, but going to that left side. And remember, like we said, he's got Irvin Fryer over there, a guy who's been there, and they're trying to work, hopefully, on Deion Figures, who's coming in there for the first time.
2nd and 10, blitz coming on Detmer, and he swings it out to Waters, who is close to a first down at the 31. It appears he is right there. Maybe a few inches short, depending on the spot. And they are saying he is less than a yard shy of the first down, so it'll bring up 3rd and inches. Well, now they're saying on the spot that it's a first down, so they're just moving the chain.
They're complaining that the clock, Jacksonville's complaining that the play clock took for about 10 seconds to start off, and then they reset it. That's what Coughlin is complaining about. He's trying to get the crowd into it. He's exciting noise.
Waters nowhere to go. Tony Bracken's the first to break through.
See, Bracken's a guy, 2nd-round pick last year. You know, not a first-rounder, but a good football player. A guy that you hope can elevate to that impact status, but they have a lot of good football players, and they got a lot of depth. Right up top, watch him. That's number 90, Bracken. He just whips around the outside of Mayberry, and then Turner misses him, and he crushes the run flow.
Loss of 3 brings up 2nd and 13. Eagles with a touchdown, could draw within 7, and it's blown dead.
That looked like an early snap. I'm not sure.
72, offense, prior to the snap. Still 2nd down.
Big Joe Panos, he pulls back a little early. They're dealing with now a long 2nd down distance. Them offensive linemen give them Lancey in there. They know the rush is coming, the heat's coming.
There you see Philadelphia whistle for its 6th penalty of the game. Eagles going the wrong way, trying to get back into this game, trailing by 14. 5 defensive backs check in, and Detmer has it intercepted by Deion Figures. Still on his feet, crossing midfield, and still on his feet, all the way to the 39-yard line.
Boy, here they go. Well, guys better not get on the field. There will be some fines handed out. Hey, on the bench.
Boy, what a turn of events for Philadelphia. They go down the field on their first drive here in the 2nd half, miss a field goal, and now a costly turnover on the interception by Deion Figures, who then returned it 31 yards. Jags in business.
Its beauty will draw you in. Its new engine will pump the valves of your heart. And the line that separates man from machine will disappear completely. Introducing a new kind of LS400. You've never felt so connected to a car.
Freedom on the Field, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. With fares so low, you have the freedom to fly. The football in your hands and nothing between you and a touchdown. Time to think about your in-zone celebration, right? Well, if you don't have a firm grasp and both feet on the ground, things tend to slip away from you.
What do you get when you fly Southwest Airlines? Fun fares.
Well, you waited so long for a fare to get so nice and low now you really should fly.
Light up the night. Southwest Airlines fun fares are so low. Want to see that again? Now you can fly just for the fun of it.
With us, 'cause we got a lot of things to do now you really should fly. And you'll have fun, 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 flying Southwest on a fun fair today. Fun, fun, flying on a fun fair today.
What should Hank Hill be more worried about? Someone stealing his wife? Or someone ruining his lawn? A brand new King of the Hill next Sunday on Fox.
I think he's trying to get this ball to the tight end, Lewis, who hooks up in here. Only problem is, watch Lewis. He keeps going, but the ball is well behind. And we talked about trying to pick on Figures, and Figures was on the coverage there. Figures very alertly sees the ball come off of Detmer's hand and makes an interception.
Jason Dunn left the game back in the second quarter. No word on him yet.
Look at the tight end.
And wide open is Mitchell, and it's overthrown by Brunell. It could have been 6, and a penalty flag is down. Personal foul against Philadelphia.
Roughing the passer. You know, they gave Brunell a shot right at the end of the half, and Coughlin went nuts over it. No flag was thrown, but they definitely kept an eye on him.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 50 on the defense. First down.
That's James Willis. Now he's rushing right in there. He gets up. What? What? I saw no roughing the passer there. That might have been a mistake from the officials. I didn't see it there.
None.
That's a huge call that hurts Philadelphia.
Automatic first down. They pick up 15. And James Stewart,
Boy, Tom,
who scored 3 touchdowns in the first quarter and has done close to nothing since.
You know, Tom, that ends up being a really big interception now by Detmer, because they're down approaching the red area. 21-7 game. You know, one score, hey, you're sitting good, but boy, it completely turns around. One bad call. Now all of a sudden, Jacksonville's in the red area.
Jags have been very good, as we showed you, on capitalizing. They'll try it here. Stewart close to the goal line, and they're saying he's down inside the 1. Stewart going for what would have been his 4th touchdown carry of the game. He picks up 21.
We keep talking about it, and it's getting to be an old point, but on this side, they just blow people away. Stewart does a nice job of looking, but how can you not find that hole? I mean, Rhett is able to get a hand on him late. Ben Coleman working over on the left side. Baselli, we talked about him. Look at that. Look at Mamula. Baselli just killed Mike Mamula. I mean, he's nowhere near the play.
First and goal. Stewart, his 4th touchdown of the game.
Stewart's getting tired of scoring.
Oh, he might have 1 or 2 left in him.
I don't know what he hurt there. Probably scoring exhaustion. He went over the top. I don't know if he came down on something. Somebody came down on him.
Hopefully nothing serious. It's already been a costly afternoon for the Jaguar backfield. Natron Means had to leave early in the game with a badly sprained ankle, is now along the sidelines on crutches. See if we can pick anything up on Stewart.
I mean, the movement, the penetration from the Jaguar offensive line is so good, he doesn't even have to jump. He had a Marcus Allen flashback. I mean, there's not a green shirt on the other side, on the field side of the goal line.
Stewart apparently all right.
Touchdowns.
And that is a Jacksonville franchise record, 4 rushing touchdowns in one game. And we still have 18 minutes and 39 seconds left to play. Point after is good.
Tell you what, that might be a record for a lot of people's franchise. 4 in one game. We're not done with the third quarter.
28-7 Jaguars in front.
Frankie, let me ask you a question.
Yeah?
These frogs, do they really taste like chicken?
I'm not answering that.
I'm just curious.
Stop it.
Come on, it's barbecue season. Would you marinate them? Would you slow cook them? We could toss them over a salad.
My name is Frank Maddox. I'm a baseball scout for the Seattle Mariners. 244 pounds. He's probably a little hefty. We need somebody else for center field. But there's no way I'm going to Phoenix, man. It's too hot. You gotta try to look in the future, and that's a tough thing to do.
I'm the road to Canterbury. Hello, dear. Thank you. Of course, you Americans hate the rain. Oh, it's too wet and scary. Mommy won't let me come out and play.
The road is cold, and the 1998 ES 300 with front-wheel drive and available traction control will help you answer it.
Not bad, but you're on the wrong side of the road.
Oh, if only I could swim. I would swim over there. And I would go up and I would say, hello, I'm Louie. How are you? Nice to meet you. And then I would grab the heads and I would hold them under the water like this, like this. Yeah.
Louie, you are one sick lizard.
28-7 Jacksonville coming out in the third quarter like they did in the first quarter, running the football.
Now, here's a prime example. This was a play before the touchdown. Baselli working on Mamula. Mamula's given up about 70 pounds, Tom. You know, Mamula does what he does well, but it's hard to do anything well when you give up that kind of weight to a guy like Tony Baselli. And, you know, people think that Tony Baselli really came into his own after the playoff game against Buffalo. Hey, he said, I knew I was good long before then, and the Buffalo game just confirmed it. He's a politely cocky guy and the kind of guy you need to protect the quarterback.
Deuce Staley brings it out across the 25 to the 28, tackled there by Mike Logan. So with 3:18 to play in the third quarter, it's a 21-point Jacksonville lead.
It says here, the internet is the future of business. We have to be on the internet.
Why?
Doesn't say.
This dish is gonna change my life.
I like you better already.
Turn it on, turn it on. And now, I give you...
Game time.
Heidi? They said it was on satellite TV.
It's on DirecTV. DirecTV?
You don't have DirecTV. You got Heidi.
Only DirecTV delivers more sports than any other mini-dish system. If you don't have it, you're gonna get it.
If you squint, you kind of looks like Don Elway.
DirecTV. Satellite TV at its best. Personal messages.
Tom Jr. got straight A's.
Business info.
Boss called me a genius.
Entertainment scoop.
My favorite song, #1.
Sports updates.
My team 3, your zip.
Whatever you want is in the new Motorola Wordline pager. Personal messages plus news, sports, and entertainment.
Hi guys, what's new?
Oh boy. Visit Service Merchandise to see the exciting new Motorola Wordline pager and a selection of quality Motorola paging products.
What would you do if you met the man who murdered your son?
I shot him in the back.
Twice. A brand new 413 Hope Street, Thursday at 9, 8 Central.
I'd like to remind you, coming up next, Game 2 of our Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader. Most of you will see Danny Cannell make his first NFL start. Giants head to Arizona to face the Cardinals. Cardinals 1-4 after having lost 4 games, a total of 11 points.
They can't win the close one.
That's next on the second half of our Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader, except for those of you here in Jacksonville. Penalty flags down, incomplete throw, Detmer to Fryer, but we'll check on the flag in a moment. Holding against Philadelphia. And while we have a moment, right now, McDonald's game break. Let's send it back to James Brown at our Fox Television Center. JB.
Hey, Thom and Rich, I know he had 4-1 speed to catch him.
Best thing that Bobby Ross ever did. He dumped that fullback concept. He put Barry back there alone and ran the stretch play. Give him a lot of room to look at holes. The fullback just gets it Barry's way.
But you would have caught him.
Of course.
I mean, you can run.
Yeah, I could.
Keyword being could.
I could. Way to go. Way to be my guy once again.
Ricky Waters looking for somewhere to run, and there's no room. Eddie Robinson up to make the tackle. Some of the other scores around the NFL today. Chicago leading Green Bay by 3.
Well, you know Chicago's a dangerous team to play right now, only because they're so due, and you don't want to be the dewey and get done by a team that hasn't won a game yet.
Good one there, Miami and the Jets. Miami with a slim 3-point lead. Detmer back to throw, good protection, but again batted at the line of scrimmage, this time by Lagaman.
Detmer will have his share of batted down balls. The interception was nearly batted. If you look at him, he's 6 foot. His throwing lanes are very short. It doesn't take much to get your hands up and get in the way of Ty Detmer's throwing. Right here, guys don't even have to jump or be that tall. And that's been another worry about having Ty Detmer back there. Big quarterbacks these days, the prototype guys are 6'5", 6'6".
And they're coming after Detmer on 3rd down, and again it's batted. 3 and out for Philadelphia. They'll stand and cheer the Jacksonville defense. Jaguars smelling the kill with 2:29 left in the 3rd quarter. Hutton kicks it away. Reggie Barlow at his own 35. And picks up 2 yards. Wrapped up by Willie Clark.
Run back to the 37. Stopped by Willie Clark. First and 10.
Hey, that's what we just got through talking about. Batted passes, 5. Boy, that's like John Madden football there.
Not a good sound, is it? Well,
you know, you can always hit the reset button on the video game, but it's kind of hard to do that here.
Jaguars beginning this drive at their 37, and Brunell looking for more, and he's wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. Jimmy Jones again on the stop. Had a little help from John Harris.
Jimmy Jones brought in free agent from St. Louis, you know, along with Richard Dent, and nobody's going to tell me that this team doesn't miss William Fuller a bit. I mean, he's a guy that could give you some, if nothing else, some weight down inside to be strong against the run, and then he could get to the quarterback and sack.
Fuller, of course, went on to San Diego. Carry out to the 45-yard line by James Stewart, who had a stinger on that touchdown plunge a moment ago, and obviously he's all right. He picks up 8 more yards. Big day for Stewart. He has set a franchise record with 4 rushing touchdowns, if you're curious. The NFL record for rushing touchdowns in a game, 6.
He here's a guy that comes into this game with 88 yards rushing and just explodes here.
Great protection for Brunell.
What a catch.
Was that ball caught?
What
no.
a catch, but they're saying it wasn't. It looked like a great catch from here.
Sure did. Willie Jackson, the fourth-year receiver out of Florida. Thought he had it.
But, you know, it's all about the time. You see how much time Brunell sat back. He's going to work on the slant route inside. Brunell waits for it to clear. Well, that's interference. They wanted to call it. Now, that ball clearly hits the ground. We couldn't see it from this angle.
Troy Vincent back to Philadelphia.
Barker punts it away. Troy Vincent will let it go into the end zone. And they'll bring it out to the 20 with 52 seconds remaining in the third quarter. 55-yard boot off the foot of Barker. Well, we have football, a Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader today, and it's a night game for the American League Championship Series. How about the effort yesterday by right-hander Mike Messina? Struck out 15. He made people look bad. And then the controversial suicide squeeze play. Lenny Webster, the catcher, thought the ball was foul tipped by Vizquel. It went as a pass ball, a run scored, and the Tribe won it to take a 2-1 lead in the series. Charlie Garner with a hole off the left side. Philadelphia with less than 40 seconds left in the third quarter, trailing by 21.
It goes back to the 21, the original 21 that they got right off the bat. It's hard to recover from that. You have to have an explosive, deep threat offense that can spin quick, almost like a no-huddle, something like Buffalo had a few years back, and the Eagles don't have that.
Kevin Turner makes a reception out of the backfield, and he has a first down. It should be the final play of the quarter.
If he didn't fumble.
They're saying that he did fumble and that the ground did not cause it. Schwartz has the football.
Well, it went from bad to worse to downright ugly.
Ty Detmer was saying he thought another official had signaled that the ball was down, the play was down, but apparently not. Second turnover of the quarter by Philadelphia.
Well, you can see that Turner's fighting for extra yards here. He's got that ball out front. Yeah, I say you have to give him the fumble.
Well, let me ask you
this. His
this.
feet are wrapped up, but nothing touches the ground, and they don't call him wrapped up. That ball clearly came out before he hit the ground.
Well, let me ask you this. The fan in Philadelphia is saying, wait a minute, how can they call that a fumble in the play early in the game when Jimmy Smith was stood up and he fumbled before he was ever tackled? They're saying, what's the difference?
That's not my department.
I
That's
understand.
Jerry Seaman's department, NFL League officiating.
Thank you, Justice Fitz. That's the end of the third quarter. Jacksonville leading 28-7.
November's biggest event, the X-Files season premiere, coming November 2nd.
For all today's highlights and scores, watch Sports Sunday tonight on the Fox 10 o'clock news.
It's electrifying.
Buy now and save. Hey everyone, if you thought you missed your chance to get a great deal on Ford Explorer, then listen to this. Get low 2.9% financing for 48 months, or choose low 4.9% financing for 60 months on the #1 selling Ford Explorer. You heard right. Your choice, 2.9% financing for 48 months or 4.9% financing for 60 months on every 97 Ford Explorer while supplies last. So hurry in now to your Quality Plus Ford dealer and get the deal you want on Ford Explorer.
Keeping you and your family well is our mission every day. That's why we've developed Healthy Lifestyles programs for our members. Discounts or reimbursements on weight reduction programs, bike safety for kids, health club memberships, literally dozens of great programs to help you stay healthy. We know that nothing is more important than your health, so we'll be there if you get sick or injured. But remember, we'd rather help you stay well. Healthy Lifestyles from Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield.
In a world of imitators, one has to look closely to find the original. Luckily, among 4x4s, an original bears these distinctive markings: full-time four-wheel drive, uniframe construction, quadricoil suspension, and an available V8. Features found together only on Jeep Grand Cherokee. There may be imitators, but there is only one original. Now lease a Grand Cherokee for 0 down, $349 a month, and $844 due at signing at your Jeep dealer.
Jacksonville, the quick 21 spot in the opening quarter. Philadelphia made it a 14-point game at halftime for the Jaguars. Cashed in on one turnover before, and now they're trying to do the same with another. And look at that.
Yeah, and here's a guy right here, Mike Mazer, the offensive line coach for the Jaguars. You know, this team makes a statement. The franchise makes a statement when the first guy they draft is an offensive lineman, Tony Baselli. They're telling you right there what our priority is going to be. And you know Tom Coughlin, a hard nails type of guy. They wanted to come out and establish offensive line superiority and dominance, and that's what they're doing. I mean, you can clearly see an attitude. They got a guy like Dave Wydell up down in front of the center position who has been talked about as maybe not being one of the cleanest players in the NFL, but the bottom line is they get the job done. And then you're talking about another tackle on the other side, Leon Searcy coming down from Pittsburgh. They are about as solid across the board as you can be.
So will that carry James Stewart has eclipsed the 100-yard rushing mark today.
Ball start. Prior to the snap, both offensive guards still first down.
Coleman and Tilsky there. But you see right there, that's that playing together, that means everything in the days of free agency. Contrast that, Tom, with what Philadelphia just did in the offseason. They spend the big money, bring in 3 offensive linemen, try to patch up things in there, and I'm still not convinced that it's where they want it to be.
Brunell looking for the end zone and overshoots the intended receiver, Jimmy Smith. Right now, McDonald's game break time. Let's return to James Brown at our Fox Television Center.
All right, time to get back to Thom and Ron.
That's an example of how you try not to let one guy dictate the outcome of the game. Sanders is dictating the outcome of that game.
Second down and 15 at the Philadelphia 25. And making the reception, Keenan McCardell, and he's down to the 14-yard line. It'll bring up third down and close to 4 for the Jaguars. A tackle made by Vincent.
Interesting story about Keenan McCardell. Yeah, I thought that when he was with the Cleveland Browns, I thought we used to pronounce his name McCardell. And I was right, we did.
Yep.
Well, his father sent a letter to the organization saying the correct pronunciation of the name is McCardell. Very politely did it in the right way, and Keenan's embarrassed about it because he's the type of guy, kind of a shy guy. He would never go to the PR guy and say, hey, you're not saying my name right. So now we call him Mr.
And it is
McCardell.
Mr. McCardell, the way he's played these last 2 years. And the completion made to Pete Mitchell. Close to the end zone. The ball comes loose. They're saying the ground caused the fumble inside the 1. So it'll be first and goal for Jacksonville.
I think that's the first time we've seen the tight end today. Jacksonville. Right here, Mitchell's going to leak out. He blocks, and it's a flip screen, a middle screen. Well, the ground can't cause the fumble. And if his knee's down, he hits that ball on the ground and plays over unless it comes out before. Whew.
Very good call. And we have an injured Philadelphia Eagle. Can't tell from here who it might be. Brian Dawkins is the injured Philadelphia Eagle, and he's from right here in Jacksonville, Florida. Went to Raines High School. Same high school that produced former Philadelphia Eagle wide receiver great Harold Carmichael. And Brian Dawkins will celebrate a birthday tomorrow. A lot of friends and family very concerned right now.
Dawkins made the NFL all-rookie team last year. A starter since Game 3, a speed guy back there for the Eagles. See right down in there, he got that foot rolled up on. Well, it's not good. They're spending a lot of time with him.
Well, hopefully it'll be good news for Brian Dawkins. We'll take an injury timeout. 12:46 left. It's been all Jacksonville.
Presenting the 1998 Chrysler Sebring convertible, designed for exhilarating driving 365 days a year. Rain or shine, built on the belief that great cars appeal to a more passionate side. Now lease the Sebring JX convertible for just $299 a month. Chrysler, engineered to be great cars.
Mr. Dave Thomas?
May I approach the bench, Your Honor? According to our records, you haven't tried our new pitas.
I guess I'm guilty.
Come try Wendy's delicious fresh stuffed pitas today.
These are great.
You know Charlie Small.
I do. He should be back in 2 to 3.
More people who make a living with their tools buy their tools at the Home Depot. And with our incredible selection, all at guaranteed low prices, it's a pretty powerful argument for why you should shop here too. The Home Depot, where people who know their stuff buy their stuff.
A company most people never heard of is changing the way we fight cancer and kidney failure. By inducing the body to produce blood cells, chemotherapy and anemia patients are gaining new strength. Helping to grow blood cells helps Amgen become the world's largest biotech company. Where do you learn about companies with such pioneering spirit? Exactly. NASDAQ.com.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Chrysler, engineered to be great cars. By Miller Lite, now official beer sponsor of the NFL. By Intel, makers of the amazing Pentium 2 processor. And by 7-Eleven. Oh, thank heaven for 7-Eleven.
Back in Jacksonville, where they continue to look at Brian Dawkins, second year free safety out of Clemson.
Boy, Stewart here with a chance maybe for 5.
Yep, it would be his 5th, and it is his 5th touchdown of the game. He goes in untouched.
Number 5 was the easiest of all. Oh, boy. Just an outstanding job by the Jaguars offensive line. You know, a lot of people really thought this team was a fluke when they walked out of here after Morton Anderson misses the field goal in that last game of the season. Buffalo thought they were a fluke. They manhandled them up front in the offensive line. Denver, they do the same thing. This team was a lot closer to the show than people want to give them credit for last year.
5 rushing touchdowns in the game for James Stewart, number 1 pick in 1995 out of Tennessee. And the point after is good. And again, the NFL record for most rushing touchdowns in a game is 6. He still has 12 and a half minutes to get one more.
We invented the Pentium 2 processor to do amazing things for your PC. So it seemed only fitting to find an equally amazing way to bring it to the world. Did somebody say road trip?
I think it's going around.
There's the Smith. Williams, wide open. Oh, he blew it. Here come the team doctors. Are you hurt?
Yeah, I'm hurt. When people boo, hurts my feelings.
Gonna be a while? Grab a Snickers.
Post-incompletion stress disorder.
He doesn't really talk about his hair, but I know he thinks about it. That's why he uses Pantene Pro V. The Pro Vitamin formula penetrates, improving hair, keeping it looking really healthy, shiny, strong. Pantene Pro V, for hair so healthy it shines.
It is 180 degrees from expected. It is a leather-trimmed interior, available heated front seats, and an Infinity 10-speaker audio system. The new Chrysler Town & Country LXI, built on the belief that great cars appeal to a more passionate side. And now it's available with $1,000 cash back or a very special low lease rate. Chrysler, engineered to be great cars.
It's game 4 of the ALCS as the Orioles try to even the score with the Indians. Coverage begins tonight on Fox.
What a day for James Stewart. One away from matching the NFL record shared by Zub Jones, Ernie Nevers, and the Hall of Famer as well, Gale Sayers. The last man to do it was Sayers on the 12th of December, 1965 at Wrigley Field.
Well, if Coughlin wants to, he might be able to make that number 6 or 7 with the time on the clock and the way they're moving the ball.
35-7 Jacksonville leading Philadelphia. Deuce Staley still on his feet out to the 35-yard line.
Deuce Staley's had some good efforts all game long, and it'll probably go unrecognized, but he has brought that ball out of the hole and tried to make things happen. I like his intensity.
Well, there's going to be a change at quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles as they come trotting out on the field. Rodney Peete appears in a game for the first time since the opener against the New York Giants. When he came on, completed 17 of 23 for 268 yards and a touchdown, and was sacked 7 times. And just like Peete, it's batted down at the line of scrimmage by Bracken.
And they can add to the number of deflected passes.
Well, Ronnie, this brings up a big debate in Philadelphia. Many felt a couple of weeks ago that if there was going to be a change at quarterback, the Eagles should have made it then.
Yeah, but, you know, then you come back, they have the big win against Washington, so all of a sudden everybody quells that.
Right.
And now you can expect for it to start back up. You know, the problems go much larger than Ty Detmer. And he moved the team at times when he had to, but that defensive line got manhandled by a big, strong, physical offensive line by Jacksonville.
And really not a lot to speak of in terms of Ricky Waters' production here today. You brought it up at the very beginning. They ran for better than 200 yards, 203 to be exact, last week in the win over Washington.
Well, you're right, Tom. They come into the game 5th in the NFL in terms of rushing the football, so people cannot say that the offensive line isn't doing the job. I mean, they've got some new guys trying to get together for the first time, but holes were there today. But when you go down 21 points, I don't care who you are, it's going to be hard unless you have that kind of quick strike offense.
Waters 14 carries today, 40 yards. And a catch is made by Fryer. Depending on the spot, he may be short of the first down by about half a yard. Well, we understand many of you probably here in the Jacksonville area concerned about Brian Dawkins, the Philadelphia free safety who left a moment ago. He has an injury to his fibula, and they're taking him back for x-rays. Very, very close. That far short. You're down 28 with 11:14 to play. This is a no-brainer.
Correction, 3rd and 1.
Well, you know that man's disappointed.
Well, and that's why the numbers, the stats will lie to you. I mean, you can have the number 2 offense in the world, but the number 2 offense in the NFL doesn't do you much good when you got to fight a big deficit.
Maybe 2-3 inches, and Peete has it to continue the drive.
Rodney Peete carries.
Well, the good news about Rodney Peete, he comes into this game with a 73% completion average, but the bad news, he hadn't played all that much, so that's not entirely reflective of what's going on. And this is a situation you hate to be in as any player. I mean, it's good in the sense that, hey, if you're within reach, nothing's better than to take the team downfield, strike quick, and come back from behind. But boy, with this kind of lead, it's hard.
Rodney Peete has been on both sides of the fence, so to speak, as he is dropped back at the 39 by Joel Smingy. His 3rd sack of the year, his first today.
Smingy, another example of the type of depth that Jacksonville has on the defensive line. I mean, they got 2 guys, Brackens, Smingy, and then another one. Now, that's Brackens on the other side. He's going to try to get in the line of vision, the throwing lane, and he shuts it down. You see, he made Rodney Peete reload. You know, that's what we talk about throwing lanes. You don't have to always get to the quarterback. Just be in his line of sight.
No penalty flags down on the play as Pete throws to the near side and finds Garner out of the backfield. You know, we were talking about Pete. Back in '95, he took over the Eagles when they were 1-3, led the turnaround, got them to the wild card, and a 10-6 overall record, including that record-setting playoff win against Detroit. 58 points the Eagles scored on that day. Then last year, Pete led the team to 3 wins in their first 4 games. Then week 5 against Philadelphia, tore the tendon in his right knee. Detmer took over and has never given up the job. Third down and 6. Good protection this time, and the catch is made down to the 30 by Irving Fryer.
Boy, how money has Irving Fryer been this game?
Irving Fryer.
We talked about a guy who's gotten his life back together. One of the 4 ordained ministers in the NFL. I mean, if you're a short quarterback, here's what you have to look at. I mean, we're talking about guys that aren't 6'5", 6'6", mammoths. You know, that's a tough feat by Rodney Peete right there to get that ball through. And granted, he's been doing it since his days at SC, but still, we can't minimize the effort to get that ball and the skill to get that ball over the offensive lineman, the defensive lineman, and fit it in a small area to a guy 20 yards downfield. I mean, that's a great picture of it there.
Garner down to the 25. He picks up 5. Well, the Eagles really wanted this game badly. They had not won on the road. That was the first obstacle to overcome. And they felt if they could get a victory and get back to 500 with everyone else in their division playing one another this weekend. Giants in Arizona later today here on Fox. Redskins and Cowboys on Monday night. Stopped on a second down throw is Garner, about 4 yards shy of the first down. And what does Philadelphia have coming up after this one?
Well, the good thing, they're going to be at home for 2. And you know the second one's going to be a hummer. But then they're back on the road, and it's kind of away, home, away, home. Ray Rhodes said, we got to have this one. And Ty Detmer said, once again, this is the biggest game of the season. You know, like we talked about, the stats don't always equal your record. They needed this win to prove a lot of things, namely to get back up to 500.
Pete to Fryer. He's inside the 10, down to the 9 with 7:20 left to play, and the stop made
I like to see Irving Fryer come across the middle. You know, he said, talking about his days back in New England, being coached by Raymond Berry up there, he said he taught me 2 things about coming across the middle. Don't come across in there flying, be under control, and if it's low or if the ball's high, don't be a hero and try to grab it. That ball was right where it needs to be, low, so he can get down to avoid the shell shot.
Fryer closing in on 100 yards. And Garner able to crawl his way down to the 6-yard line.
You got to give Rodney Peete his due here. He's coming in, moving the team down the field. On the other side of the coin, Dick Duran, defensive coordinator for the Jaguars, they're not running the same defense as they were running in the first quarter.
Second and goal from the 6. Philadelphia at the Jaguars' 7-yard line, and Pete to throw in big trouble, and down he goes.
Boy, is that Brackens again?
Yep.
Wow.
No, I take that back.
Is it?
That's Simmons.
That's Simmons. He just looks like a young guy coming around the corner now. He looks like he pulled up. Simmons going to come around the outside here. Once again, he's been able to beat Mayberry around the corner all day long. I mean, you talk about a guy in the league 12 years, one of the top all-time sackers in the NFL, but still has that first fast 1 and 2 steps to get around the corner.
Throw to the end zone, touchdown Philadelphia. Irving Fryer has gone over the 100-yard receiving mark.
Irving Fryer has been the offense as far as the passing and perimeters for the Eagles today. Here's a guy that comes in and says, like, I can't run as fast as I used to, but I know where I'm going now, and when I watch film, I watch it smarter, and I feel like I'm one of the leaders for this team. I want the young guys to come up to me and ask me questions, and I can be there for them. When I came into the league, I was self-centered. I wouldn't do that. Now that's what I'm about.
Point after is good. 5:39 left to play here in Jacksonville. And the Jaguars looking to go to 5-1, lead 35-14.
Who are these people? They go to the strangest places, work in the tightest quarters, and gladly keep the oddest hours. Who are they? Forever probing and prodding, digging, exploring. Who are these people? They are Texaco, and what they do is find the energy the world needs to keep on running. Texaco, a world of energy.
Capacity crowd on hand. These two teams are really going to put on a show for these folks today. And there's the kickoff.
Refreshing ice cold drink. Thanksgiving for 7-Eleven.
Stop by 7-Eleven for the new 20-ounce NFL mugs. They look cool and keep your coffee hot.
Presenting the 1998 Chrysler Sebring convertible, designed for exhilarating driving 365 days a year. Rain or shine, built on the belief that great cars appeal to a more passionate side. Now lease the Sebring JX convertible for just $299 a month. Chrysler, engineered to be great cars.
Your attention, please. Your attention, please. Here today, or what? Let's go!
This is why protection inside is key. Beckles, Everett, Panos, they have to protect inside and give Rodney Peete a clean look to the slant route. The protection down below is great. He can make that throw. That's one of the reasons Ray Rhodes in the offseason brings in Steve Everett from Baltimore and Ian Beckles, two guys that we think can give him that kind of stoutness inside.
Well, here comes an onside kick try and handled cleanly by Jacksonville. O'Neal tried to drive it into the ground, get the high bounce. He did, but able to grab a hold of it, not let go as Chris Hudson. Jags have it again.
It is a deliberate departure from the norm. 180 degrees from expected. Spacious leather-trimmed interior. Available heated front seats. And now it ties as J.D. Power & Associates' most appealing minivan. The new Chrysler Town & Country LXI. Built on the belief that great cars appeal to a more passionate side. Chrysler, engineered to be great cars.
After the movie, we'll go to McDonald's.
Did somebody say McDonald's?
I could go for a Big Mac.
It's a McDonald's fry.
McDonald's.
Did somebody say McDonald's?
I wasn't looking for love. With just a glance it happened. Love came looking for me. Get out of my way!
Dockers, khakis.
A mysterious cult
I am a messenger.
foretells of an alien invasion.
Landing site?
You bet.
An all-new visitor, Friday at 8/7 Central.
Well, they came ready for a little fun here today in Jacksonville, and they've enjoyed every moment of it.
That guy has watched Stewart score so much his hair changed color.
How about him?
Well, at least he's next to the water. Brad Johnson.
Brad Johnson, the hero in the opening. Rob Johnson, the hero in the opening week of the season. And he hands it off
ball on the ground.
Damian Shelton, who fumbles the football. And it'll be Philadelphia ball. So Damian Shelton getting just his 5th carry of the year, the first today. And he coughs it up, recovered by Troy Vincent.
Well, it looked like Johnson's a little dingy. Guys are laughing at him. Come into the game, big lead, back fumbles the ball, and then you get knocked out.
Johnson had the unbelievable opening game win of the season, his first NFL start at Baltimore. Severely sprained his ankle, nonetheless came back in the game, led him to the win. Was inactive the next 3 weeks before returning last week. But one of the few things that has gone wrong for Jacksonville today as Pete continues to try and bring his team back with 5.5 left. First catch today for Chris T. Jones.
Oh, you know, you look at the clock and they got a little time. They should be in a hurry-up type of offense, I would think.
Good for an Eagles first down. That's a Jacksonville 42.
It's a matter of how fast Pete can move the team down and how fast he can score.
5 minutes left. And they're down by 21. Garner watches as Turner makes a reception out of the backfield, and he's inside the 30 down to the 29. Another first down.
You know, that was an ugly situation that they had to go through early in the season at training camp. And Ray Rhodes hadn't named a quarterback yet, and I talked to Rodney. I know he was kind of disgruntled because he felt in his mind that Ray had already made the decision and just hadn't announced it yet.
Very different game today for the Philadelphia Eagles in their thumping of the Redskins last week. Catch made by Fryer down to the 23-yard line, but you compare the numbers.
And see, look at, you know, last week, all the rushes. Today they tried to stick with the game plan, couldn't quite do it. The amount of passes, that's going to increase. You know, last week they had a nice little cushion, 14 points starting off early, but it's a whole different ball game, boy, when you give up them 21 early.
Well, you can make a strong case at the opening drive of the third quarter, the second drive of the third quarter. Philadelphia had a chance. They were down 21-7, missed a field goal that could have made it 21-10. As Pete is dropped all the way back at his own 39-yard line by Tony Bracken.
You know, but if you watch Jacksonville on film, you could see how maybe Philadelphia gets a little bit of a false security. They go up to Washington, don't play well. Really beats up on Washington. Now they got to come down here.
Penalty flag was thrown at the tail end of that play all the way down near the end zone. Pete's slow to get up, and again the penalty flag all the way down near the 7.
27 on the defense. That's first down.
You see the way he was crouched there. We're talking about Deion Figures there. Jammed a finger down there. He was crouched in that position like, well, I don't need to come out, but I need some attention. Come out here, tape me up, wrap me up or something, but that's his left hand. It's not his throwing hand.
Still flexing the left hand, the fingers. He just come on to hit 9 of 10 for 89 yards and a touchdown. But perhaps too little too late. Eagles down by 21, and they see as much. Waters takes the football, and he stopped at the 15. Well, for the Jacksonville Jaguars, conversely, this is a team that will tell you point blank they don't feel as though they've clicked on all cylinders yet this season. The offense was slow due to all the changes at quarterback in the beginning of the year. Brunell injured with a knee, then Johnson took over. He was hurt. Matthews came in, won a game. And today, the fourth game started by Mark Brunell.
Well, what they said they needed was a blowout. They didn't feel that they were very convincing to themselves or anyone else. They felt they needed to really knock somebody out of the box.
He throws for the end zone. Touchdown, Irving Fryer's
I think we need
today.
We need to start counting Irving Fryer's touchdowns. We got a flag down. Boy, our catches. I mean, he's caught an awful lot of balls today.
Pass interference. 41. Defense is declined. Touchdown is good.
And you mentioned a 10 catches. The play will stand. Fryer, a career day. Last year was a career season. Today, the 10 catches, 124 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Just working inside. They've been throwing inside on the slant route all day long. He's up at the top right here. And he just beats Thomas inside. Thomas, once again, a big corner. Very physical. And it's hard to have moves when you're that big.
Point after is good, making it a 2-touchdown game with 2:36 left. Rodney Peete, 2 drives, 2 touchdowns to Irving Fryer.
At BASF, we don't make the cooler. We make it cooler. We don't make the fishing line. We make it stronger. We don't make the fuel, we make it burn cleaner. We don't make the water scooter, we make it lighter. At BASF, we don't make a lot of the products you buy, we make a lot of the products you buy better. BASF.
Sea turtles. They bury their eggs on some tropical beach. When the eggs hatch, the babies find their way to the water and across miles of ocean. Now, we also have this built-in sense of direction when we're in our own shells.
CARN, the car navigation system from Philips Magnavox. It shows exactly how to get to where you want to go.
Man has finally caught up with nature.
35-21, Jacksonville leading Philadelphia, and another onside kick will be attempted by the Eagles.
You know, anything's possible.
Yep.
Need to get one here.
I learned my lesson the hard way last year, as I recall.
Now, Irving Fryer, you know, he told us last night his contract is up at the end of this season. He said if he doesn't re-sign with the Eagles, he's seriously considering retiring. He wants to continue to play as an Eagle.
Onside kick fielded cleanly by Jacksonville, and attempting to make the return is Travis Davis. Yeah, he said when his contract runs out at the end of next year that's what he wants to do.
I thought that was pretty bold coming from him, a guy at his age.
So that's what he talking about yesterday. Like to remind you, this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League and is intended solely for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Jacksonville Jaguars and the NFL is prohibited. Well, they're going to make Damian Shelton hang on to the football this time. He fumbled his last chance. A lot of people starting to become believers in these Jacksonville Jaguars, whether they want to or not, because they're going to go to 5-1 here today. And as we mentioned, they don't feel as though they've even played anywhere close to their best football.
Yeah, but you know, they got something good going on here. 5-1, assuming they finish up and win this game. You know, here's what they got to face. They got to go to Dallas, 3 games on the road. They wanted to walk out of here, go on the road, at least 5-1, because now you come back, and let's say you drop one of those. Well, you come back home, still sitting in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
I mean, to be 6-3 at any point, you know, just after the halfway mark, these days is pretty darn good. You know, nobody runs away with it anymore. You don't see that very often.
Well, they have so much depth on this team. Ty Halleck carries all the way down inside the 20 early in the very first opening drive. Natron Means was injured, had to leave the game with a badly sprained ankle. And then they brought on James Stewart. And boy, did he electrify the crowd. Rushed for better than 100 yards, including a franchise record 5 rushing touchdowns. We've reached a 2-minute warning, and the Jags lead by 14.
Miller Lite presents.
My name is Don Wachter. 7 years ago, I rescued this bear head from a pawn shop. Now, normally, I'm a pretty mild-mannered guy, but when I put this on, something happened. People always say, how can you put a stuffed animal on your head? I just tell them it isn't any weirder than putting leather gloves on your hands. Okay, maybe it's a little weirder.
Everybody's gonna rock and roll. We're sending 4 cheerleaders to the Super Bowl. Participate every night. When you buy and drink Miller Lite, you could be the cheerleader we're searching for. You could be the cheerleader we're searching for.
It's time.
Hi, Nancy.
You've taken care of every detail.
Are you sure? Uh-huh.
Now it's someone else's turn.
Don't worry.
For 200,000 businesses a day, the choice is clear.
Think about this. That works really nicely.
When their presentations demand they look their best,
Wonderful. Today we're talking about productive partnerships.
they come to a place that expects the same. Kinko's, the new way to office.
Frank Black's search.
Find the evil. This is who they are.
Uncovers a terrifying conspiracy.
Something is happening, Frank.
An all-new Millennium. Friday at 9/8 Central.
Well, the Jaguars, it's been a different hero every single game, it seems like, this season. And today, James Stewart. Career high and a franchise record 5 touchdowns rushing the football. 1 shy of the NFL record of 6.
And that was good running. You can't take that away, but as we've been talking about all game long, Jacksonville's offensive line was dominating up front.
Rob Johnson to throw, and he is sacked back at the 25 by Red Hall. Today's game produced by Pete Macheska, directed by Billy McCoy. Our associate director, Sean Gurjikoff, our broadcast associate, Tom Yohe, our technical producer, Dan Rotante, the studio produced by Scott Ackerson, directed by Bob Levy. Senior producer of Fox Sports is Bill Brown, and the executive producers are Ed Gorn and David Hill. How about a highlight package on Mr. Stewart?
I mean, each play looks the same to me. The one thing you'll notice about each play is that there's a lot of green standing in front of him when he gets the ball. And I don't care what anybody says. I think the Eagles' defensive line misses William Fuller, and they also miss Andy Harmon, not on the team anymore. I mean, those are guys that have made a big impact in the past, and this offensive line here making a big impact for this team. And you give Mark Brunell a great running game. Of course, the bootleg and the scrambling, everything else is very effective because teams are in limbo on what to stop. But it all starts with moving people up front and then protecting them in the back. And then they got the 2 great tackles. That's what really sets them apart.
Well, they rushed for 160 yards last week, 3rd best in franchise history against Cincinnati. And with that carry right there, they go over 154 today.
Boy, what a job, though, Tom Coughlin has done down here. You know, when they got in on that missed field goal by Morton Anderson at the end of the season, the first thing he said in the locker room after the game was, hey, forget how we got here. We are in this thing to win the Super Bowl. I thought that was key because, you know, what's going through everybody's mind is, wow, we're in it. We shouldn't be in it. We got lucky. he established right there, hey, we are in this thing to go to the show. And you know what? They were about a play away from going to the show. And then you talk about Mark Brunell. Maybe guys like Randall Cunningham a little bit before their time, the running quarterback, you know, then he was considered, you know, not disciplined in the pocket, but yet nobody has a problem when guys like Brunell and Favre and Young and guys like that run around. Blake ran crazy last week.
As did Cordell Stewart, who had a big
Cordell
game.
Stewart, all of a sudden, the running quarterback is in vogue.
Yes, it is.
Full score. 71 offense.
That's a nice sight to see those guys talking. No more yelling and screaming. I actually think they get closer together after that little incident in Minnesota. I really do.
There you see Natron Means wearing the khaki-colored shorts there, as he had to leave khaki-colored slacks, had to leave the game earlier.
The khaki's khaki.
Yeah, you're right.
See, he knew he was going to get hurt today. That's why he wore the khaki. You don't have to worry about the wrinkles. I guarantee that's some expensive khaki he's got on. Not like the khaki you and I wear.
I don't know about putting me in that ballpark. There's a completion down to the 22-yard line on the third down. Speak for yourself, young man.
That's true. You are the big money guy.
Well, they're going to need a healthy Natron Means, though, if they're going to make the kind of run in the postseason that they did last year.
That's the beauty of having two people that can run the ball for you. Philly's got that.
Okay.
Well, the Jaguars will take a commanding lead in the AFC Central Division.
No, he's going to stop it.
They won 10 in a row here at home. That includes today's victory. Green Bay, the current leader, with 19 consecutive victories at Lambeau Field. And Denver with 12. And, of course, that doesn't include the postseason, though, because Jacksonville went to Denver last year during the playoffs and beat the heavily favored Broncos.
That's funny. You think about the fact that the Eagles had a shot to get Mark Brunell. Brunell told us yesterday, he said, I was ready to go. I mean, I knew John Gruden was there. I liked that part of it. He was with me in Green Bay. I knew the system they were going to run, the West Coast. You know, I was ready to go to Philly, but he couldn't get the contract worked out. And he kind of gives you that sly grin. Well, I don't know. That makes you wonder.
Well, it speaks volumes about the confidence Brunell had in his ability. He was a backup for a couple of years, and he said that Philadelphia wanted him to sign a 5-year contract before a trade was going to be made between the two teams, and that he wanted a 3-year deal, figuring that at the end of 3 years, he'd be in line once he proved himself for big money, and that's exactly what happened when he came to Jacksonville. 38-yard field goal try now by Hollis. And it is right down the middle to make it 41-21 Jacksonville. I apologize, 38-21 after that field goal.
Yeah, I thought Jimmy Smith for Jacksonville gave us some interesting insight on something here last year when Andre Rison was cut from the team. He said Andre Rison actually had more to do with the success we've had as receivers than anyone else. Because when he came here, that cocky, competitive attitude really was infectious. We really thought that we were the best in the league when Andre was here. Now, it wasn't showing up for whatever reason. They had a lot of turnovers, a lot of penalties, but Andre really got us to that point. So I got nothing but love for Andre Rison. That's what Jimmy Smith said. That was very interesting. Because all around the league, all you hear was, well, Andre Rison leaves, Jaguars get it going. He was the problem, part of the problem. But it was about penalties, turnovers. Coughlin took the edge off the guys a little bit. They didn't practice quite as long. Gave them a little bit more time off. You know, got involved with the players on a one-to-one level a little bit more.
Should be noted with this win today by Jacksonville, the AFC has won 13 of the 19 games against the NFC this season. The conference's best mark through 7 weeks in better than a decade. Staley brings it out to the 38-yard line. Penalty flags all over the field. But with a 17-point Jacksonville lead, it won't be a penalty that means that much to the game at this point. That is for sure.
You know, now the Eagles got to rely on home field. They got to rely on the home crowd.
Holding, join the return, number 89 of the receiving team.
Well, while we have a moment, let's send it back to James Brown at our Fox Television Center for an update.
Tom and Ron, what we'll show you the closing 2 minutes. Chicago, Green Bay, Kramer back, looking, fired 22 yards to Chris Penn. That brought Chicago within 1. They go for the 2-point conversion. Raymond Harris covered. Kramer locked onto him anyway. It's incomplete. Green Bay wins it by 1. Back to Tom and Ron.
Well, I guess once they figured he didn't have anything to lose, go for the win.
And that's something the Bears are without. They are now 0-7. They're trying to catch the Cubs the way they started the season in baseball over in Chicago when they went 0-14. That is not a record you want to chase.
Going back to what I was saying earlier, Tom, this is, you know, the Eagles are in a situation now. They got to rely on the home crowd spirit now to pull them through this thing. I mean, they're going to need everybody when they go back up to the bat to be there, to be loud, to be obnoxious, and help them pull them through this time.
Eight seconds remain for Ray Rhodes and the Eagles.
Another big win here for Jacksonville. Getting those wins early, boy, that's what it's about. Days of free agency, you don't have time. These guys coming in, learn a new system to get things going and then ease into the season. You got to win fast.
Vito just throw it up for grabs. And that should end the game. And it will.
Illegal forward pass. Number 9 on the offense was beyond the line of scrimmage when the pass was thrown. The penalty is declined. The game is over.
So it is the final 38-21. Jacksonville beats Philadelphia today. Eagles slip to 2-4. Jaguars go to 5-1. And let's take a look at the Energizer play of the game. One of 5 rushing touchdowns on the afternoon for James Stewart. A franchise mark with the 5 rushing touchdowns. One shy of the NFL record. So Mark Brunell and the Jaguars roll on, beating up on Philadelphia today by 17. Coming up next, the Giants and the Cardinals, or the Panthers and the Vikings. Stay tuned for the second half of our Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader. For Ron Pitts, I'm Thom Brennaman saying so long from Jacksonville, where our final score, the Jaguars 38, the Eagles 21. You've been watching Fox Sports coverage of the NFL. It'll continue after a word from your local station.